A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all old-time radio.
Transcribed.
From Hollywood, we present the Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis Show. Brought to you by Dentine, the gum with breathtaking flavor, and Chiclet, the candy-coated gum with a flavor that won't chew out. By Chesterfield, sound off for Chesterfield. Get something new, something no other cigarette has. Chesterfield's mildness plus no unpleasant aftertaste. And by Anacin for fast relief from pain of headache, neuritis, and neuralgia. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to introduce our master of ceremonies.
Hi, folks. This is Dean Martin. Well, it's time for another song and fun fest around the old NBC mic, and we're certainly glad you were able to join us. Jerry should be along at any minute now. On the way to the studio, he was supposed to stop in and see his doctor. We all got a little worried about Jerry this afternoon. You see, his temperature went up to 64. Well, anyway, until Mighty Mouse gets here, I'd like to get things underway with a touch of whispering. Stavolini, let's go. Whispering while you cuddle near me, whispering so no one can hear me. Each little whisper seems to cheer me. I know it's true, there's no one, dear, but you. You're whispering why you'll never leave me. Whispering why you'll never grieve me. Whisper and say that you'll believe me. Whispering that I love you. Whispering why you'll never leave me. Whispering why you'll never grieve me. Whisper and say that you'll believe me. Whispering that I love you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. And now I'd like to...
Whispering while your arm is dangling.
Hey.
Hey, what's with the hey? You want me to talk to me like a humane being?
Must you always walk out here like that?
Like what? What you want to do when I walked out? What do you want I should do, roll over?
No, I mean you're always so boisterous.
Sure, I'm boisterous. What do you want I should be, girlstress? See, it's a play on words. He says boisterous, which means noisy, and I said girlstress. It's not really a word, but boy and girl, I put the word... Oh, I wish I was dead.
Oh, come on now, Jerry.
Now, the trouble is you don't want I should work at all. You don't want me out here at all.
But don't be silly, Jerry. Of course I want you to work.
Oh, no, you don't.
But I do want you to work. What makes you think I don't?
You just don't want it, because at the end of the week, when you get the money and I say, give me, you say to me, what did you do?
Jerry, listen to me. In the first place, the money comes to both of us. And in the second place, why must you talk like an idiot?
If I don't talk like an idiot in the second place, there won't be any money in the first place.
Ah, Jerry.
Oh, Dean. I've hurt you. I wounded your pride with my cruel words.
What's happened to you, Germ? You were so kind and sweet. Remember how nice and good-natured you used to be?
Of course. Wasn't I a dog?
And now look at you. 1 minute you're nice, and the next minute you go wild. Honestly, you're ex-consistent.
Yeah, I know, but... Ex-consistent? Ex-consistent? For a minute, I thought he was wrong.
Look, Jerry, how about the program? We don't have a first guest.
Oh, well, that's not so serial. Why don't you and I do...
Not so what?
Let's think faster. I'm in 1A. It is really because, well, why don't you and I do one of those dramatic scenes we do so well?
A dramatic scene?
Sure, one of those real tear-jerkers.
All righty. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, Jerry and I give you our impression of a very tender scene. A man and a woman have a fight, and they are now trying to reconcile. I can't go any place.
Got no money?
I can't show my face.
You got pimples?
People stop and stare. Why, it's so hard to bear.
I know, Teddy. It's so hard to bear, Teddy.
Well, everybody knows that you left me.
Because you were mean to me, you picked on me, you abused me, you pushed me around, and just how much of that nonsense do you think I could stand for?
Why, it's the talk of the town.
It's your mother, she can't keep her mouth shut.
Every time we meet, my heart gets the beat. We don't stop to speak, though it's been a week.
6 days, don't lie.
Why, everybody knows you left me. It's the talk of the town.
It's your mother, do you hear me? She talks. Why, last Sunday, everyone in the neighborhood knew we had an argument. She has to tell every one of our affairs, oh, is there no mercy?
Send out invitations to friends and our relations announcing our wedding day.
And how well I remember me in my gray sequin gown. I love that dress more than anything in the world. When I walked down that aisle and Mildred called it a rag, it broke my heart.
Friends and our relations, what I gave. Congratulations.
No present?
Nothing. Oh, can I face him? What am I going to say?
You mean about the puppy?
Jerry! Come on. Let's make up, sweetheart. We can't stay apart.
You like me?
Don't let foolish pride keep you all from my side.
Coax me. Send me Holivar.
How can love like ours be ended? Oh, well, it's the tower of the That's out of our system. Let's lend an ear to Jimmy Wallington.
Thank you, Dean. And now here's something of interest to everybody.
Chiclet.
Taste the difference when you chew. Flavor on the outside, inside, too.
Chiclet.
Time the difference by the clock. Flavor lingers. Tick, tick, tock.
Chiclet.
Count the difference. Count 'em, cousin. Every box, an even dozen.
Chiclet.
Get the big nickel's worth. You can taste the difference, time the difference, count the difference. And whether you chew gum to keep your mouth fresh and clean, or just for the plain fun of chewing it, you'll be better off on every count with Chiclets. They're flavored on the outside, flavored on the inside. With Chiclets, you don't chew the flavor out, you chew the flavor in. That's why the goodness lingers on and on.
They're candy-coated.
Flavor-coated.
Pleasure-coated.
And more fun for your money. So get the big nickel's worth.
Chiclet.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, Jerry and I are making a practice both on television and radio to introduce just as many new faces and personalities as we can possibly introduce. So tonight, we would like you to meet and hear a young lady that we had the pleasure of meeting a few evenings ago. She sings a wonderful song. We believe her future in this business is assured. Here she is now, the lovely Miss Bonnie Bishop.
Oh, thanks a lot, Dean. I'm certainly happy to join up with you.
Well, it's nice having you around, Bonnie. Say, they tell me you've been singing for quite a while.
That's right. I started singing as a little girl in the shower.
Oh, I see. You're one of those soft soap sopranos.
I guess you might put it that way.
Well, if you can get along without your shower cap, we should do very nicely together. Let's have the downbeat, Richard.
I walked in with a smile. I walked out with a tear. While you danced.
At the place where we two had our first rendezvous, and we danced.
I came uninvited, and I found you. So thrilled and delighted with someone new.
I walked in with a smile. I walked out with a tear.
And you danced.
I came uninvited, and I saw you.
Walked in with a smile. I walked out with a tear. And you danced.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Well, now comes the time for Jerry and the boys to join me as we all sound off for Chesterfield.
Sound off for Chesterfield.
1,500 tobacco men have shown you before, and they'll show you again why Chesterfields are really best by mildness test.
They smell mild.
Chesterfield.
They smoke mild.
Chesterfield.
Milder, Chesterfield.
That's right.
A careful test, precise and exact. Scientists prove this important fact that Chesterfield in every case left no unpleasant aftertaste.
Mildness plus.
No aftertaste.
Mildness plus.
No aftertaste.
No unpleasant aftertaste in Chesterfield.
That's right.
Now, if you're still a doubting Thomas, here's the thing that I can promise. Chesterfields will give you more, so when you're in the tobacco store...
Sound off.
For Chesterfield.
Sound off.
For Chesterfield.
Try a pack of Chesterfield.
Do it.
Today!
What Jerry and I are trying to tell you, folks, is that Chesterfield Mildness Plus, no unpleasant aftertaste, is exactly what you want in a cigarette.
So try a pack of Chesterfields. Do it. Today.
It's my pleasure to introduce a lot of nice people on this show, but no introduction has given me a bigger kick than the one I'm about to make now. Here's a man that Jerry and I have admired, respected for a long time. A wonderful guy, one of the country's most beloved comedians. Ladies and gentlemen, Danny Thomas.
Thank you. Hi, Dean. Thanks for the kind word, but what's all this, one of the country's most beloved comedians?
But you are beloved, aren't you?
Look, 90% of the time I'm on the road. I live in hotels, I work in saloons, I make faces into a television camera. I hold a dozen two-line conversations daily with bellboys and busboys, technicians and drunks. Twice a year I come home. My wife pecks me on the cheek. My kids say, "Who's he?" You call this beloved?
You comedians all talk alike. You know that? Now you take my partner, Jerry.
No, you take your partner.
Don't you like Jerry?
I was just kidding. I have a lot of respect for the lad.
That's good, because here comes the animal now.
Hey, Dean, is it time for me to come out and be adorable?
Who is that chap? He looks familiar.
Jerry, I want you to meet Danny Thomas. He's a great admirer of yours.
Dean, you know the admirers are supposed to gather at the stage door.
Jerry, this is Danny Thomas, the comedian.
Oh, goody. Do you think he'll amuse me?
You were going to say abuse me, weren't you?
My subconscious mind was working. I don't like how well you two are working together.
Listen, Deke, I didn't come here to be a punching bag for this monkey on a stick. I'll have none of that, sir.
Did you say he was a comedian? You invited another comedian on our show? I just realized. Well, if that's the way you want it, I'm through. THRU.
Oh, wait a minute. Don't get excited, Jerry. What's the matter with you?
You stay out of this, you team wrecker.
Jerry, Louise, he's not splitting us up. He's just a guest. Look, if it'll make you feel better, I don't even like him, okay?
Oh, yes, you do. Don't lie. I can tell you like him.
How can you tell?
If he doesn't like you, how come he's letting you wear his old nose?
Wait a minute, Jerry. Wait a minute. You shouldn't be jealous, really. I mean, you and I represent two different types of comedy. My comedy is that of a storyteller, weaving his tales of fancy over the hushed multitudes, holding them spellbound until the final word is spoken, catching their emotions in the palm of his hand.
You don't get laughs?
Of course I do, but we're worlds apart, Jerry. I like you, though. In fact, my whole family likes you.
They do?
Sure. You take, for example, my daughter, Teresa.
No, you take her.
My daughter, Teresa, always was one of my greatest fans, Jerry. When she saw me on television, why, she used to sit up and repeat over and over, Daddy is funny. Daddy is funny. Then she saw you on television, became your most rabid fan. Now when she sees me, the words kind of come out different. She says, Daddy is funny.
Gee, tell Teresa that I appreciate her loyalty.
You tell her. I haven't talked to her for 3 months.
Tell me, Danny, when you come back to radio, what kind of show would you like to do?
Well, I'll tell you, Dean, I go for the easy ones. You know, the quiz shows.
See, Dean, what I tell you, that's the kind of show we should have done, like Groucho Marx.
Well, no reason why we can't all do one now. Music, Rick.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, Dean Martin, Jerry Lewis, and Danny Thomas are proud to present their version of that popular quiz program, You Bet Your Life, entitled No, You Bet Your Life. And here he is, your master of ceremonies.
Well, that's me, Groucho Martin. Well, our giant jackpot is up to $9,000 in round figures. Smooth them out, and it comes to about 14 cents. George Feminine, who's our first couple?
Before we went on the air, the studio audience selected a sailor and a waitress as our first contestants. They're waiting off stage.
I got news for you, Feminine. I just peeked out there, and I think you better call our second couple.
Well, Groucho, for our second couple, the studio audience selected a peanut vendor and a parking lot attendant. Gentlemen, meet Groucho Martin.
Welcome to No, You Bet Your Life. And if either of you say the secret word, you will divide $1.35. It's something that hangs around the house.
I know, it's my father.
You must be the parking lot attendant.
How can you tell?
You look like you've been run over. And you, sir, you must be the peanut vendor.
That's right. I'm a Salvatore Pacicolo Paolo Garibaldi di Napoli, Junior the two.
Good gosh, I've been teamed up with a Swede.
Hey, Mr. Groucho, who is this fellow? You look like a long string of spaghetti with a meatball on the top.
I'll find out right now. Tell me, son, what's your name?
My name is Marvin M. Mintz.
Marvin M. Mintz. What's your middle name?
Marvin.
You mean your name is Marvin and Marvin Mintz?
Oh, no. No, it's Marvin Mintz. The accent's on the first Marvin.
But how come two Marvins?
Well, when I was small, I was a very difficult child. And when my mother used to call me, I wouldn't listen, and she'd have to say, Marvin. So I'm Marvin.
What would you rather be called, Marvin or Marvin?
My friends call me Sydney.
Mr. Butchagaloop, tell me something about yourself. Are you married?
Oh, my sure. I've been married to one woman for 32 years.
Oh, you have any children?
We got a 31 bambinos.
Are they all well?
Oh, they all in the pinky condition. But Mr. Butchagaloop, she don't feel so good. Yeah, you never know where those measles are going to strike you next.
Hey, how about getting on with the quiz? I got to get home before my mother.
Why?
I'm wearing her sneakers.
Well, if you win the $9,000, you can buy a pair of shoes.
You mean we're going to get a chance at the jackpot? Boy, what I could do at $9,000.
All right. You have $20. How much do you want to bet? Now, remember, you're going for $9,000.
I don't know. I asked my partner. Hey, Brushhead. We got a $20. How much you want to bet?
Let's bet a dime.
What's the matter? You crazy? You got a $20 and you're going to bet a dime?
All right. You're right. All right. Make it a nickel.
Hey, how come you're such a cheapskate?
Mother raised me to be a miser.
All right, Mr. Butchagaloop. Stand by for the jackpot question. If E is to X, what L is to F, what is the sum total of the third equation? Talk it over thoroughly. But remember, we only allow one answer. Remember.
Well,
I'm time. Your sorry is up. Thank you, Mr. Botchagaloop, for being with us, and better luck next time.
Well, goodbye, Mr. Grouch, and give my regards to Apple and the Chicklets.
Hey, there's no way to run a quiz show.
Well, what do you know about quiz shows?
What do we know about quiz shows?
Walter O'Keefe gave me a brand new toaster. Double or nothing, paid him off in dough. Truth or consequences gave a suitcase.
At Break the Bank, they told me where to go. It rhymes with swell.
Telephonic gave us many prizes.
A stove, an iron, and a dinner gong.
But Stop the Music did the best of all for us. They gave us all the finish to the song.
We had no punchline. They gave us all the finish to the song.
Let's all return to the state of sanity for about 1 minute and listen to Jimmy Wallington.
Thank you, Dean. Ladies and gentlemen, no matter what you now take for headache relief, we urge you to try Anacin for the incredibly fast relief these tablets bring the next time you're suffering from a headache. Now, the reason Anacin is so wonderfully fast-acting and effective is this. Anacin is like a doctor's prescription. That is, Anacin contains not just one, but a combination of medically proven active ingredients in easy-to-take tablet form. Thousands of people have received envelopes containing Anacin tablets from their own dentist or physician, and in this way discovered the incredibly fast relief Anacin brings from pains of headache, neuritis, or neuralgia. So the next time a headache strikes, take Anacin for this wonderfully fast relief. Anacin, A-N-A-C-I-N, Anacin at any drug counter in handy boxes of 12 and 30. Economical family-sized bottles of 50 and 100.
Some years ago, before I ever dreamed of singing professionally, I was working in a grocery store in my hometown. Now, you don't really need a band to sing with when you feel the urge, so it was my habit to sing to the tinny accompaniment of the rattling cans I was pyramiding on the shelves. Well, one day I was stacking a few cans of cranberry sauce, humming along a forgotten tune, when I realized that someone was standing quietly near me. She couldn't have been more than 17 and just as pretty as a spring day. I don't know how long she had been standing there, but it sure was nice to know I had been serenading someone. When she asked me to sing a special song, well, my joy was just about complete. I guess this was the first person to show any real interest in my voice. And I know I'll never forget her. What's more, I'll never forget the song. Wherever you are, Jeannie, this one is for you.
What'll I do when you are far away and I am blue? What'll I do? What'll I do when I am wandering home? Is kissing you? What'll I do? What'll I do with just the photograph to tell my troubles to? When I'm alone with only dreams of you that won't come true, what'll I do? What'll I do with just a photograph to tell my troubles soon? When I'm alone with only dreams of you that won't come true, what'll I do?
You're the greatest singer in the country.
Well, thanks, Jer.
How you do in the city, I don't know, but in the country, you're great.
Oh, that's really nice singing, Dean, but I still can't get over that fine Groucho impersonation.
Yeah, that was swell. You know something, Danny? I'll bet you do a great imitation of Chico.
Hey, we ought to make a picture someday, Dean. You do Groucho, I'll do Chico, and... who will you do, Jerry? Jerry, who will you do?
Jerry, that's the nicest sound that's come from you in years.
Well, good night, fellas. Thanks all.
Good night, Danny.
And so, folks, hope to see you again next week. Until then, this is Dean Martin.
And Jerry Lewis reminding you that we appear on radio through the courtesy of Hal Wallace Productions, producers of our current release, That's My Boy, and our new picture, Sailor Beware.
Night, folks.
Good night, everybody.
Hollywood, you have just heard transcribed the Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis Show, written by Ed Simmons and Norman Lear, produced and directed by Dick Beck, with music under the direction of Dick Stabile, brought to you by Dentyne, the gum with the breathtaking flavor, and Chiclet, the candy-coated gum with the flavor that won't chew out. By Chesterfield, sound off for Chesterfield. Get something new, something no other cigarette has. Chesterfield mildness plus no unpleasant aftertaste. And by Anacin, for fast relief from pain of headache, neuritis, and neuralgia.
Hear Duffy's Tavern with Archie on NBC.
And now, Mary Foster, the editor's daughter. Mary Foster Lord is deeply disturbed about her father's agreement to play another golf match with John Redmond, the winner to publish the loser's newspaper for one issue. She's thinking of it as she sits at home sewing, but her thoughts are interrupted as...
Come in. Well, Fred Hunt.
Hello, Mary.
Since when have you had to ring the doorbell instead of walking right in?
I thought I'd better ring, especially where you've been so mad at me.
Sit down. Well, I haven't been mad at you. I don't know where you ever got that idea.
You broke our engagement, didn't you?
Well, yes, but it wasn't a question of being mad at you, Fred. Just that I decided it would be a mistake to continue with it. I told you just how I felt at the time.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I'm here to see if there's any chance of you coming back to work at my office. I got to have a girl in the office. I'm out so much of the time, and if you won't come back, I'll have to, well, look around for somebody else. But you know the routine. I'll pay you more than I was paying you before.
You were paying me very well before.
I can raise it a little bit. What do you think?
Oh, Fred, I'm afraid not. But thanks just the same for wanting me to come back.
Will you consider it for a couple of days? I can leave the job open that long, I guess.
Oh, well, I don't know. Perhaps I could consider it. Fred, I'll be perfectly frank with you. I'd much rather just keep on with the care of the house and the children. Dad wants me to do that, and it's really a better arrangement.
Oh, sure, I can understand that.
Well, the picture may change, though, after Monday.
What do you mean?
I mean, if Dad loses to John Redmond, I may need to go out and work.
Has Henry made that same contract with Redmond again about the newspapers?
Yes, I'm sorry to say that he has.
Well, he's really asking for trouble, isn't he?
He certainly is. But when Redmond put up a howl about being cheated, you know all about what Amelia did, of course.
Yeah.
Dad said that he'd give him another chance. I don't know what the outcome will be, but I do know that if Redmond wins, and he has a much better chance of winning than Dad has, if he wins, it's going to hurt Dad financially. Because John Redmond has some plan to hurt the Sentinel. I know that.
Oh, no doubt of that. That guy always has an axe to grind where Henry's concerned.
So, as I say, if Dad loses, I may go out and look for a job.
Yeah. Well, I'd hate to see you have to take a job on that basis, Mary, but, well, if it happens that way, you come on back.
I'll let you know after they play Monday.
Okay, fair enough. Where's Henry now?
Oh, he's out on the course with Bill Nelson. Bill is coaching him on how to play.
Oh.
They should be getting it back pretty soon now. They've been... Oh, wait a minute. Here they come.
That gives Nelson a pretty good excuse to hang around here, doesn't it, where he's teaching Henry golf?
Fred, do you think that's a nice thing to say?
Well, isn't it true?
No, it is not true. Bill doesn't hang around here or anywhere else. Look here, I thought you'd gotten to like him.
Oh, Doc's all right, but... Well, I can't say I'm keen on sitting back and watching you fall for him.
Now, Fred, look. Let's have this understood once and for all. If there's going to be any more talk like that, you can find someone else to work in your office, because I won't.
Okay. You don't need to get so...
And I mean it, too.
My gracious, I hit that last one, didn't I, Doc? It was a honey. Hello, Fred.
Hi. Hello, Henry.
Oh, how are you, Fred? Glad to see you again.
Thanks.
How'd you do, Bill?
He did all right. If he doesn't watch out, he's likely to become a golfer.
Well, good for him.
I guess there ain't much danger of that happening. But for the first time, you know, I realized that it's kind of fun to whack that little white ball and watch it sail.
Well, of course it is. It's lots of fun. Fred, you ought to go out and try it.
I've been thinking of it. But after all, I got a business to tend to, and that's more important than golf.
Oh, nonsense. You can't work all the time.
Well, I always have.
How about going out with me sometime, Fred? You could spare a few hours, couldn't you?
Well, I don't know. I'll see. Thanks for the invitation. Well, I guess I'll be on my way.
Wait. You don't need to hurry, Fred. Glad to have you sit around and talk for a few minutes.
Oh, I've got some things at the office I have to do. You let me know about that Monday, then, will you, Mary?
Mm-hmm.
Say, come think of it, I got some errands to do down the street. Mind if I ride along with you, Fred?
Come right along.
I'll be back in about an hour, Mary.
Oh, all right, Dad.
See you later, Doc. Much obliged to you.
The pleasure's all mine, Henry.
Well, I'm glad you're going along with me, Henry, because I want to talk to you. I want an opinion from you.
All right. You can have it, boy. Although I won't guarantee it'll be any good, you know. What is it? What's on your mind?
Well, I'm wondering about Mary and Nelson.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
Well, it looks to me an awful lot like Mary's falling for him. Is she?
Fred, I tell you honest, I couldn't say as to that. I couldn't say definitely, that is. But as far as I've been able to make out, she likes him, and that's the extent of it.
Well, I guess it's getting to be past the liking stage.
Then if you know, what'd you ask me for?
Oh, I'm not sure about it. That's just the way it looks to me. I'd hate for that to happen, Henry. You can probably understand when you've been crazy over a girl for years the way I've been about Mary and still am. Well, it hurts to watch another man step in and take your place.
Yeah, most likely it does, Fred. But since it's my policy to say just what I think, I'm going to tell you that it's your own fault and nobody else's. Now, take little things, for example. For instance, when Doc and I came in the house just now, you know, you was pretty short with him.
I didn't intend to be rude, but I wasn't going to fall all over him.
No, you made that evident enough. And then again, when he asked you to go out and play golf, my gracious, you just about growled at him.
Listen, Henry, you can't make me be friends with Nelson. Now, there's no use trying.
I ain't trying to make you friends with him. It's nothing to me one way or another. I mentioned the way he acted because Mary, she'd noticed it too. And it certainly wouldn't make her feel any more kindly towards you.
Henry, I'm no hypocrite.
All right. You ain't a hypocrite. Nobody say you was. But you tell me how much you think of Mary and all that, and you're wondering why she don't seem to care as much for you as she used to. So I'm just giving you part of the answer.
Well, you're probably right. Do you think Mary ever did care anything for me?
Well, you know just well as I do that she did. She wouldn't have said she'd marry you otherwise, would she? No, of course she wouldn't.
Well, do you think... Is there any chance of her caring for me as much again?
I don't know. I don't know about that, Fred. Not so long as you keep on acting like a sulky schoolboy. You get over acting that way, and maybe she might. But after all, she's the one to say, you know. Not me. Not me at all. Well, here's the post office. You can let me out here if you will.
I tell you what I wish you'd do, Henry. I wish you'd put in a good word for me with Mary.
Why, there's only one person that can do that, boy, and that's yourself. Much obliged, Fred, for the ride.
I don't know why he acts that way, Bill.
Oh, well, don't think a thing of it, Mary. It doesn't bother me a bit. Maybe if I was Fred, I'd feel the same way.
Well, it's generous of you to say that, but I don't think you would.
Fred's basically a nice chap.
Oh, he's wonderful when he wants to be, but... Oh, I don't know. Tell me, what chance do you think Dad has of beating Redmond this time?
Well, if he plays the way he played today, he'll have a lot better chance than he did before. The thing is, he hasn't played enough to have a consistent game. He might do well one day and very badly the next.
Well, is Redmond consistent?
No, I wouldn't say he's consistent, but he's more consistent than Henry. But today, Henry was going good out there. He'd step up to the ball and swing, and he got some nice drives.
Golly, I hope he does the same thing Monday.
So do I. You going out?
Well, I don't know, Bill. I haven't decided yet. It was quite a strain watching last time. I almost think I'd rather not undergo that strain again.
If I felt that way, I wouldn't go. But I think one of us should be there with Henry, and of course there's always the possibility that I'll be called out on a case.
Well, I'll see. I'll probably decide to go. But wait a minute. Someone's coming up on the porch. What? Why, Fred.
I decided I'd walk right in this time.
Good.
Oh, I hope you'd still be here, Doc, because you're the one I want to see. Look, you asked me to go out and play golf with you sometime. Well, if that offer's still open, and if you don't mind playing with a dub, I'll be tickled to death to go out with you.
Why, sure thing. The offer's still open, Fred. We'll go out someday next week if you'd like.
Well, just let me know when. I'll be there. Well, I guess that's all.
Oh, sit down, Fred. You don't have to go yet. Just a second. Hello? Oh, yes, he's right here. Just a minute. Go for you.
Oh, thanks. Hello? Uh-huh. Yes, all right. I'll be right down. Goodbye. Oh, back to work. I'll give you a call the first of the week, Fred.
That's swell.
Bye, Mary.
Bye, Bill, and thanks a lot for helping Dad.
Anytime. Bye.
Bye. Oh, Fred, I'm awfully glad you came back.
I guess I did act pretty surly before. But from now on, I'm going to try to act like a human being. That was a little better, wasn't it?
Yes, Fred, it was. Much, much better.
Looks like Fred isn't giving up the fight for Mary yet. But has he any chance against Bill Nelson? What about Henry's golf match with John Redmond, which is coming up almost immediately? If he loses, Mary may have to go back to work for Fred, you know. So be sure to listen to the next chapter of Mary Foster, the Editor's Daughter. Can you think of anything that folks like better after a hard day's work than a long, thirst-quenching glass of iced tea? You bet you can't, because iced tea is the perfect answer to summertime thirst. That's the reason you're bound to score a hit when you serve Kroger's Special Blend for iced tea. Because Kroger's Special Blend for iced tea is more than ordinary iced tea. It's extra good iced tea, and here's why. Kroger's Special Blend for iced tea is tea that is blended for the sole purpose of making iced tea. It's a secret blend of Ceylon and India teas, and this fine blend gives you tea that retains its deep, rich color, its delicious, full-bodied flavor after icing. Yes, ma'am, Kroger's Special Blend for iced tea looks as good as it tastes, and tastes as good as it looks. There are 132 tempting glasses of extra good iced tea in a half-pound package, and it costs you only 35 cents. Try Kroger's Special Blend for iced tea soon. Remember, it's the tea that is meant for icing. Now, here is your local announcer.
Say, it's time for...
All sweet.
Did you hear what the lady said?
I said all sweet. All sweet is the margarine with the delicate natural flavor.
Yes, friends, that's what all the ladies are saying. All sweet. The margarine with the delicate natural flavor. With All Sweet Margarine invites you to Meet the Meeks. Swift and Company's family of favorite foods invite you to meet your favorite radio family, the Mortimer Meeks, who live on Elm Street in Civic Center. Well, it's breakfast time in the little white house with the green shutters, and the family is trooping into the table. Louis, naturally, is leading the procession. And need we say who is forced to the end of the line?
Oh, excuse me, Morty.
Oh, certainly, Louis. You run right along to the table and start beating on it with your silverware.
Yeah, always joking, ain't you?
Golly, the way Uncle Louis hurries to a meal, you'd think Mother had tied a string to his plate so she could pull it away with a jerk.
With a jerk or from one.
Now, you two leave Louis alone. I like to see a man with a big appetite.
Big, dear. For Louis's appetite, big is a small word.
Yeah, well, anyway, you can see me when I turn sideways.
Yeah, I sure I certainly can. You look like you're smuggling a ham under your vest. A Swift premium ham, that is. Oh, yeah, I must remember to get one for Easter.
A ham?
Yeah.
Hey, now, wait a minute.
Oh, now, Louis Mortimer.
Huh?
Well, Mortimer, you shaved this morning.
Yeah, I nicked myself a little, didn't I?
Mortimer, you know next week is Old Settlers Week here in Civic Center, and all the men in town are supposed to grow beards for the celebration and pageant.
Yeah, sure, Morty. What do you think I got on my face this morning?
Egg.
No.
Oh, well, it's usually some sort of food, Louis.
Oh, yeah? Well, listen, Morty. According to the rules, you either got to grow a pioneer beard by next week or, boom, into the calaboose you go.
You mean in jail?
That's right, Daddy. Of course, it's only in fun, but they will fine you. You know, your boss, Mr. Barker, is chairman of the whole affair.
Yeah, well, I was going to wear my suit with the patch pockets and the belt in the back. I want to go as something different.
Different, Mortimer?
Yes, dear. I thought I'd go as a spectator.
Very funny. Me? I'm going as a bum.
No use being different, huh, Louis?
Yeah, that's right. I resent that.
me, Daddy. Mother said I could wear great-great-grandmother's wedding dress.
Oh, yes, Mortimer, you remember. It's in the old camelback trunk in the attic.
Well, I thought you threw that away, dear.
Oh, I just couldn't bring myself to it. Why, it has all our old family heirlooms and clothes in it.
Well, I could wear my great-great-grandfather's sheriff's outfit. It's in there, but, you know, he was nobody as far as I know.
That weasel little old pipsqueak. I saw that costume of his up there. A black frock coat with a star as big as a manhole cover. You'd look sillier than usual in that rig.
That's so.
And, Mortimer, there are prizes, too. Have you forgotten the Distinguished Ancestors Contest?
Well, I was trying to, dear.
Why, Mortimer, think of the honor. Think of the prestige. And think how pretty Peggy will look leading the Grand March with the guests of honor because she has the best ancestry in town.
Oh, gee willikers, wouldn't that be exciting? To have the most distinguished ancestors.
I'm afraid Mr. Barker has the edge there.
What do you mean, Mortimer?
Well, his great-great-grandfather was the town's first mayor. And my sheriff's forefather must have worked for him. Only Civic Center was called Lawless Gus then.
Well, I'm sure the Meeks family has just as illustrious an ancestor as the Barkers do. Somewhere.
Oh, gosh, I sure hope we find him fast because the whole idea is just sensational. Oh, golly, Curly Bradley, the famous singing cowboy, will be here.
For goodness sake, he will. Curly Bradley will. My gracious. Who's he?
Daddy. Curly's only the #1 Western movie star. Besides, his great-great-grandfather was the most famous bad man in Civic Center.
A bad man, daughter? Oh, my. Probably ran old Sheriff Meeks right out of town.
Oh, not that bad. Just sort of a Robin Hood. And Elsie Martin said Curly is an 11th cousin of her uncle, Mr. Barker.
Well, if he's a celebrity, Mr. Barker will treat him like a brother.
What's the matter, Morty? Jealous of Barker? You act like you got some skeletons in the Meeks closet.
Oh, Louie, don't be silly. It's just that I think the whole affair is a very silly and unimportant thing.
Oh, you do? Yeah. Well, Mortimer, this time I'm going to be firm.
You're going to be firm.
The Meeks come from a proud line.
Proud line.
And all the Meeks family will be represented.
And all the Meeks family will be represented.
And that is that.
Hey, Morty.
Yes, Louie.
Don't look now, but I think your family tree is showing.
Over the back fence, over the phone, at the weekly club meeting, or under the family tree. The main topic of discussion these days is, no, not Easter bonnets, but the high cost of eating. Now, that's where all-sweet margarine can be mighty helpful. For all-sweet is the economical table spread that's so delicious, so delicately, naturally flavored, even your most particular dinner guest will enthuse. All-sweet's a budget wonder in the kitchen, too. Cakes and cookies are super good when made with all-sweet. And leftovers, well, they take a new lease on life if dressed up with a creamy, rich, all-sweet sauce. Why not try using all-sweet for just 1 month? Now, during that month, park not the pennies, but the dimes and quarters you save with all-sweet in a box. Then, at the end of the month, open the box. And there, just what you need for your new spring hat. Yes, all-sweet is not only delicious eating, it's mighty thrifty eating, too. Use it just once. Then you'll see why all-sweet is the first choice of housewives from coast to coast. Get all-sweet. The margarine with the delicate natural flavor. And now, back to the meat. It's a week later, and the big day is at hand. All Civic Center is at the railroad station to welcome Curly Bradley.
Oh, goodness, Daddy. What a mob there is here at the station. Oh, can't you push through the crowd just a little more?
Well, now, dear, you forget I'm not your Uncle Louie. I'm only human.
Daddy, if you don't mind, I'm going to try to get a little closer. I'm dying to see if Curly Bradley is really as handsome as he looks in the movie.
Well, go ahead, dear. I can't move anyway. My gracious, feels like the whole town is standing on my feet. Look, would you please mind shifting to another toe?
What did you say?
I said, would you please mind shifting? Oh, Judge, oh, my gracious, Mr. Barker. Excuse me. Hey, go ahead. Put your other foot on. You can see better then, yes.
Meeks, what are you doing here? Why aren't you down at the office?
Well, but, Mr. Barker, you gave the whole force a day off, remember?
Oh, taking advantage of my good nature, Meeks?
Oh, no, Mr. Barker. We wanted to see your cousin, Curly Bradley, come in.
Oh, yes, Curly. With him coming and my winning the Distinguished Ancestor Contest tonight, life will be perfect.
Well, but Mr. Barker...
Meeks, my great-great-grandfather was the town's first mayor, you know.
I'd like to see anyone beat that.
Anybody'd be a fool to try.
Well, come along, Meeks. Train's due any minute. You can help Curly with his bag. Great honor, you know.
Yeah, oh, of course, Mr. Barker, yes. Maybe I should have grown a longer beard. I seem to be the goat anyway.
Why, Elsie Martin, what in the world are you doing here? Oh, I thought I'd come down and see Curly Bradley, the singing movie star. Oh, dear cousin Curly. And my uncle's cousin twice removed, I think. He's staying at our house, you know. Oh, really? Double cousins all around, eh? Uh-huh. You know, it'll be such fun to lead the grand march tonight. You know, the winner of the Distinguished Ancestor Contest selects the girl. And you're sure your uncle is going to win? Oh, but who else, honey? His great-great-grandfather was the town's first mayor. I mean, how can he lose? Small and G. Oh, God, here comes the tree. I'll see you later, Peggy. I've got to go over and get Curly in hand. Dear boy. Bye. I'll just stay here and watch with the common people.
There he is.
Welcome home, Curly.
Hiya, Philly. Well, I'll be lasso tied and brandy. Yoo-hoo! Howdy, partners. Well, I'm sure plumb honored to be here. Welcome to Civic Center, Curly. Hi there, Cousin Barker. Where's the bunkhouse? I want to unhitch, break out my saddle roll, and bed down. I'm plumb tuckered out. That iron horse will pull this train bucked and reared all the way in.
Hello, Curly.
Well, hi there, ma'am. Who's the filly, cousin? This is my niece, Elsie Martin. Cousin? Proud and happy to meet up with you, ma'am. Any kin to my cousin is a kin to me.
Oh, Curly, I'm just dying to hear your sing. Oh, yes. Give us a song, Harry.
Well, since you all got your six-shooters aimed at me, I guess I'd better tie up. Take my saddle roll out of the way, will you, boy?
Yes, sir, Mr. Bradley. And would you mind removing your spur from my leg?
Oh, carry me back to the long prairie where the coyotes howl and the wind blows free.
Oh, well, now, daughter, what's wrong?
Oh, Daddy, I'm so miserable.
Now, dear, here, take my handkerchief and...
Thank you, Daddy.
Yes, and then we'll try to do something about this.
But what can we do?
Well, give me back my handkerchief first.
Here you are. Daddy, can't you think of any distinguished ancestors?
Well, dear, I can try again to find somebody illustrious. Hand me the family album, please.
All right.
Now let's see. Uh-huh. You know, no, can't use hands. Here we are. Now, this is Montmorency Meeks, my great-great-grandfather's great-uncle, twice removed.
Twice removed?
Uh-huh.
Well, Daddy, what did he do?
He got to his feet and went in again.
Oh, Daddy.
No, yes, I know. No, the only interesting thing he ever did was he once had the hiccups for 14 days. But he finally stopped them.
How?
He died. No.
Oh, Daddy, that would never win.
No, I'm afraid not. Well, now, let's look a little bit further. Well, now, wasn't I a cute little rascal?
Who's that?
Huh? Oh, that, dear, is Milford Meeks. Yeah, he was a postman over in River Junction. Never missed a mail delivery in 40 years.
Oh.
Very try you should like you. No. Well, this is my great aunt, Melissa Meeks. Yes, but she was known for her Afghans.
Oh, no, Daddy, I don't think... Daddy! Who's that? He looks awfully distinguished.
Oh, well, that's my grandpa's cousin, Phineas Fromage. Yes, he discovered oil here.
Oh, but Daddy, there's no oil in Civic Center.
That's what the stockholders found out.
Oh, I knew it. I would have to come from a family of nobodies. We haven't got a chance.
You might as well admit it, Morty. You're a failure. You should have known better than to have a bunch of mediocre ancestors. Just look at the trouble they're causing their descendants.
What in the world is wrong with Peggy, Mortimer? She passed me on the steps, crying her heart out.
Well, I was trying to find a distinguished ancestor for the contest tonight, dear.
And?
Well, the ancestors that I found were very nice, but dull.
Oh, poor Peggy. She had her heart set on your winning. Now she says she doesn't even want to go to the party.
Well, I'm sorry, Agatha. If you don't mind, I'm going out and talk to the squirrels in the park. The way things are going, They might be interested in my ancestry. Oh, gracious, it's cold. Even the squirrels are hiding out.
Howdy there, partner.
Huh?
I see you're out of gulping in all the fresh air you can, too. Mighty invigorating, ain't it?
It certainly is. Well, for goodness sake, Mr. Bradley. Well, this is a surprise.
You mean you knew me right off, partner?
I recognize your hat and your spurs. Curly, my daughter thinks you're pretty wonderful.
You don't say.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's nothing I like better than a young filly kicking up her heels. Ain't broke to the halter yet, eh?
Well, she hasn't been branded, but she's a mighty pretty little girl. Here, it just so happens by sheer coincidence that I have her picture with me. Here it is.
Say, that's a mighty pretty gal. That's what I like, partner, a pretty gal. Always have a pretty gal in my pictures. Nothing like a little old gal in a little old gingham dress, a little old poke bonnet, and a calico apron.
Yeah, well, Curly, don't you mean a little old calico apron?
Yeah, a little old calico apron. Partner, there ain't nothing like American women. Always in my pictures with one of them staring into the setting sun, her trusting little face looking up at me.
Yes, my, Mr. Bradley, it must be wonderful kissing all those movie actresses.
Partner, I never kiss a gal in my pictures.
Huh?
Only my horse on the nose.
Yeah.
Nothing like having old paint and nuzzling up against my shoulder while that little old camera comes a cantering right up there and gets a good look. Yeah. Oh, but shucks, partner, I've talked enough about me. Let's talk about your daughter.
Yes, well, now...
How did she like my last picture?
Yeah, oh, my... And so, Mr. Barker, I thought perhaps you might use your influence...
Listen, partner.
Partner?
I'm not talking about the business, Meek.
Yeah, well, I see. I'm just getting the business.
That's cowboy talk. Curly's my guest. I can't be bothering little old Curly with a bunch of autograph hounds. Besides... Elsie's got him corralled somewhere.
He's corralled?
Yep. Curly's plumb tuckered out. And I want him slick and polished as a fire's heifer for the big whoop-de-doo tonight.
Whoop-de-doo?
You betcha. Elsie's the happiest gal in the world, Meek. It ain't every gal that can rope Curly Bradley to sashay with her in the Grand March.
Yeah, you mean because you're going to win, Mr. Barker?
Win? Meek, like they said in the days of the Pony Express, I'm a-carrying the mail.
Here I am again. Home. Hello, Agatha. Hello. Say. Hi, Louie. Well, didn't you three hear me?
Sure, we heard you. So what?
Oh, my.
Well, is there some little thing wrong?
Little thing? Everything's wrong. I won't leave the Grand March tonight. I won't even be there. And Richard will probably never ask me for a date again.
I guess there isn't a ghost of a chance of being named winner in the Distinguished Ancestors Contest tonight.
Yeah, and I went to all this trouble to look like a bum. It's all your fault, Morty.
My fault?
You're darn right. When you were having your good-for-nothing ancestors, why didn't you go all the way and have some we could use?
Greetings, my friend. You look unhappy, Louie. Did Mrs. Meek padlock the icebox again?
Oh, it's Morty, Mr. Weigel. He just ain't got the right ancestors.
Why, I thought Mr. Meek had a wonderful family tree.
Oh, the tree's all right, but the crop's a failure.
Well, just how far back can you trace your ancestors, Louie?
Well, I got a great uncle who was traced all the way back to Frisco before they caught him.
Well, say, Louie, if it's a distinguished family you're looking for, one whose reputation for honesty and integrity has been a household word for many generations, then you need look no further. Swift & Company's family of famous foods is it. And All Sweet Margarine, one of the youngest members of the Swift family, is carrying on in true family style. Why, already it's become the country's most asked for margarine. Yes, particular housewives have found that they can depend on All Sweet. They can depend on that delicate, natural flavor to glorify everything it's served with. They can depend on the generous amount of vitamin A in every pound of All Sweet to be the same winter or summer. They can depend on the fact that no table spread is more nutritious or more digestible. So, friends, whenever you buy margarine, choose the kind that you can depend on. Choose Swift, delicious
all sweet, with the delicate natural flavor.
Hello, dear. You can stop your acting and be doleful like the rest of us.
Doleful? Why, Daddy, I didn't really want to go to the ball tonight anyway. I know. Why don't we all go over to Rock City?
Rock City? What for? My beard's all grown out and I got my bum's costume on.
Uncle Louis, that's just kid stuff. Why, I've already put Great-Great-Grandma's wedding dress back in the trunk. It's all so futile and childish.
Okay. I'm going downtown. Somebody around here's got to show some enterprise.
I'll answer it. Hello?
Marty.
Huh?
I'm where I don't want to be.
Oh, you mean you're not in a restaurant?
A restaurant? Marty, I got thrown in jail.
Oh, yes, thrown in jail. Thrown in jail? And still daylight?
Yeah, jail. The pokey, the clink, the hooskow. Now you come on down here and get me out. They think I'm a real bump. They got me locked up for vagrancy.
Yeah, and people say justice is blind.
Mr. Meek, are you sure you want to claim that overgrown whale in cell number 5?
Whale?
Yes, he's always blubbering.
Oh, look, officer, that whale, I mean, that man is my brother-in-law.
Okay, Mr. Meek, I got a wife, too. Say, you know that beard you got on? You're a dead ringer for somebody I've seen around the jail.
Oh, my gracious, I hope there isn't a reward posted for me.
Oh, no. This fella's been dead a long time. We got a picture of him in the courtroom. Come on, I'll show you. And then let's get that brother-in-law of yours out before he eats us out of dry bread and salami.
Hey, listen, Morty. Next time I call you from the jail, don't drag your feet getting there.
Oh, Louis, that's what I like about you. You're so grateful.
Hey, what's in that package you got down at the city hall? The one you're carrying under your arm.
And I'll tell you later, Louis. First, I've got some business to attend to. Now, you rush home for dinner and tell Agatha and Peggy to get their costumes on and then leave me a snack.
Are you crazy, Morty? I thought you was going over to Rock City.
Louis, there's no time to explain. Now get going. I've got to see an absent-minded professor about a picture. Dr. Furmish, I was just on my way to see you.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, Dr. Furmish, don't you recognize me with my beard?
Don't tell me. Let me guess.
What?
You're a slow leak from an old mattress.
Yeah. No.
Well, I know I've seen you somewhere. Oh, yes. On a box of cough drops, perhaps.
Yes. No. Look, Doctor, I'm Mortimer Meeks, Peggy's father.
Impossible.
Yeah.
Hold still while I part your beard.
Yeah? Oh, no, that tickles.
There you are. Oh, I think I like you better with your face covered.
Yeah. Now, Dr. Furmish, you've got to help me. I have to have some historical facts.
Oh, delighted. In 1492, Columbus sailed the Ocean Blue.
Yeah, no, Doctor. No, I don't want to go that far.
Oh, well, let's try this one. In 1776, the redcoats came with big black sticks. 1 if by land, 2 if by sea. Who in the world could the walking man be?
Now, please, Dr. Furmish, look, I'm a desperate man.
You are?
Yes.
Well, you have excellent makeup for the part.
Oh.
Go on.
No, look, I've got to find out about somebody here in Civic Center. Somebody who lived here years ago.
Well, why didn't you say so?
Yeah.
Come, Meek, we're off to my library. Now, let me think. Where did I misplace it this time?
Hello, Peggy?
Daddy, where have you been?
Look, dear, I haven't time to explain. Now, do everything I tell you, and everything will be all right.
But, Daddy...
Yeah, you and your mother get into your costumes and leave the house early.
Early? But why, Daddy?
Well, I have a big job to do in our attic.
What?
Yes, I haven't time to explain. Now, just get dressed and get down to the civic auditorium. You can tell your mother that I'll meet you there. And if I don't show up, don't worry. I'll be there on time. Now, do you understand, dear?
Well, sure, Daddy, but
goodbye, dear. And trust me, I know what I'm doing.
Where can Mortimer be? Are you sure he said he'd meet us here, Peggy?
Don't you worry, Mother. Daddy knows what he's doing.
I sometimes wonder. Oh, but I'm glad you decided to come to the party.
There's Curly Bradley. Oh,
Well, dear, don't you think his shirt is just a trifle red?
Oh, no. It's just right with the rest of his clothes. Those beautiful chartreuse chaps. Those mocha boots. Those true blue eyes. Oh.
Peggy, he's coming over to talk to you. I'll go over with Louie and leave you alone.
Pardon me for busting in this way, ma'am, but seems to me I saw your photograph this afternoon.
You did?
Sure did. The photograph your little old pappy showed me sure didn't do you justice, old man. Danged if you ain't the prettiest little critter I've seen in Civic Center.
Oh, I am.
You sure are. Remind me of my leading lady in my last picture, Dust on the Saddle. Why, your eyes are like a western sky.
They are.
And your hair is like a wind-blown sage. And your teeth are as white as scrubbed rocks at high noon in a desert sun.
So wouldn't mind to have you setting aside old paint with me as we ride into the setting sun.
Why, Elsie, ma'am.
You Elsie, man, me, you two-time and rodeo Romeo. Elsie, what on earth are you saying? Only that this barnyard bachelor said the very same thing to me not an hour ago. What?
Now, Peggy, ma'am.
Don't you Peggy man me, you cowboy Casanova. How dare you say my hair looks like sagebrush?
Well, golly, Peggy, ma'am. Elsie, ma'am, I think me and my guitar better get back on the stage.
Cowboy man.
Louie, have you found Mortimer?
No, sis. There's too big a crowd here. He wasn't anywhere around the refreshment table.
Oh, Louie, I could just die. Mr. Barker's about ready to make the awards for the most distinguished ancestor. And Peggy was counting so much on her father.
Oh, relax, sis. It ain't that important.
Oh, but it is. Well, not for me, of course. I'm thinking of Peggy. It'll break Peggy's heart if Elsie Martin gets to lead the Grand March.
Yeah, that little viper's been crowing about it all night. And for Richard, too.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, Louie, Mr. Barker's going to make the award.
As chairman of Old Settlers Week and the Distinguished Ancestor Contest, I find I'm just a trifle embarrassed.
The old balloon head, he ought to be awarding the prize to himself.
As you know, my great-great-grandfather was the first mayor of the old town of Civic Center, Lawless Scout.
Oh, Louie, I was afraid this was the way it'd be.
And as you also know, my great-great-grandfather was one of the leading citizens in this area. However, my embarrassment is even greater because I've been given evidence by our noted historian, Dr. Furmish, which proves that there was an even more distinguished citizen than my great-great-grandfather.
Heavens, you don't suppose he means Curly Bradley's ancestor, the bad man, do you?
Knowing Barker, I wouldn't put it past him.
And so I award the first prize to a man whose great-great-grandfather was Civic Center's first sheriff. That illustrious citizen single-handedly repulsed one of the fiercest Indian attacks in this area, thus saving the entire community from destruction. I give you the direct descendant of that man and my most valued employee, Mortimer Meeks.
Mortimer Meeks? I can't believe it.
Aggie, you see what I see walking up on that stage in that long black frock coat and that floppy hat?
Louie, it's Mortimer in his great-great-grandfather's sheriff's uniform.
Won't you say a word, Meeks? Come, Meeks. As the descendant of fearless Frank Meeks, everyone wants to hear from you.
Hear from me? Howdy, partners. Yahoo!
The next time Junior comes home from school and says, "Mom, what you got to eat? I'm hungry," pick him up with a slice of bread, spread from crust to crust with all sweet margarine and sprinkled with brown sugar. Now, what to Junior is only mighty good eating, to you is also good nutrition. For All-Sweet makes that slice of bread a slice of extra energy. Yes, All-Sweet's delicate golden goodness actually doubles the food energy in that slice of bread. All-Sweet's an important source of vitamin A, too. Summer or winter, rain or shine, Swift & Company, whose business is nutrition, sees to it that every pound of All-Sweet contains at least 15,000 units of vitamin A. Yes, when you serve All-Sweet melting into mealy baked potatoes or dressing up vegetables, you know you're serving a rich, nutritious table spread. And a mighty good-tasting spread, too, with a delicate, natural flavor that comes from freshly cultured, pasteurized skim milk. Try All-Sweet. See how its famous flavor, its nourishing richness, helps every meal at your house. Put it on your shopping list now. Yes, remember, all sweet. The margarine with the delicate natural flavor.
Meeks?
Now the blow falls. Yes, Mr. Barker?
I knew all along you'd come through and bring additional prestige to Barker and Company. All in the family, you know. Fast thinking. You know our motto, Meeks. Big business, quick decision.
Yeah, well, maybe we should change it, Mr. Barker.
Huh? Change it to what, Meeks?
Big business, distinguished ancestors.
Oh, Mickey, where are you going? I thought maybe Curly would sing us a song.
Yeah, Daisy, ain't you going to stay around and hear your dream man?
Sorry, everybody. I'm awake now. I just made a date with a modern cowboy, with Richard.
Richard, dear, a cowboy?
Sure, Daddy. A drugstore cowboy.
This is John Weigel speaking. This is NBC, the National Broadcasting Company.
Good evening. This is Orson Welles, your producer of a special series of broadcasts presented by the makers of Pabst Blue Ribbon, the Mercury Summer Theater of the Air.
Tonight and every Friday night, Pabst Blue Ribbon presents you with the front row seat in America's favorite summer theater. And now, before America's famous producer, writer, director, Orson Welles brings you tonight's performance, and so that our story may move without interruption, allow me to tell you that our sponsors have kindly omitted their usual commercial message at the halftime. So right now, before we get started, here are some thoughts on the subject of the Labor Day weekend. And very important thoughts they are, too, for they concern blended, splendid Pabst Blue Ribbon. Let other folks journey to highways and byways looking for excitement this weekend. Let others enjoy active sports. Yours truly, Brother Wellington, is going to park himself right on the porch with a nice, easy book and a convenient supply of blended, splendid Pabst Blue Ribbon. That's what I call really resting. The old body in a prone position on a comfortable glider or porch chair, and the good right hand resting around a cool, foam-capped glass of those never less than 33 fine brews. Yes, sirree, that's the life. Enjoying that perfect Pabst Blue Ribbon flavor. Not too heavy, not too light, but clean, fresh, sparkling with the real beer flavor coming through just the way you like it. Remember, if your dealer can't always supply all you'd like, it's worthwhile to keep on asking for blended, splendid Pabst Blue Ribbon. And now, Orson Welles.
Tonight's broadcast was originally prepared for an album for the Decca record people by a Mercury actor and a very talented writer, Mr. Brainerd Duffield. The album was made by the Decca people, Mr. Charles Laughton in the role. We bring it to you on the air for the first time. Mr. Duffield's version, Mercury production of certainly the greatest novel ever written in America, Herman Melville's immortal Moby Dick.
Call me Ishmael. Some years ago, never mind how long, I'd put down for a whaling voyage to sail about and see the watery part of the world. When on that winter's night the Pequod thrust her vindictive bows into the cold, malicious waves, a black evil magic shivered in the air. A heathen crew that had small touch of human mothers in them. And, housed in his cabin, there sat brooding a madman captain that no man aboard had ever seen. A madman with a stick of whalebone for a leg. For several days after leaving Nantucket, nothing above hatches was seen of Captain Ahab. It was a short, cold Christmas. And when darkness came, sky and sea split with thunder and blazed with the lightning. And suddenly, I looked to the taffrail. there, upon his quarterdeck, stood Captain Ahab.
Mr. Starbuck?
Aye, Captain. All hands are here.
Thank you, Mr. Starbuck. You hear me there, men? Aye. What do you do when you see a whale, men? Sing out for it. Sing out, Captain. Sing out loud. Sing out for him, then, do you? And what do you do next, men? Pull in after it. Aye, that's right, Captain. And what tune is it you pull to, men? A dead whale or a snowboat? Aye, that's the tune, my boys. All ye masters, have any of you for now heard me give orders concerning a white whale? Look. You see this Spanish ounce of gold? A $16 gold piece, men. You see it? Aye. And on top of all, Mr. Starbuck, I'll fix this gold piece to the mess. And whosoever of you raises me a white-headed whale with a wrinkled brow and a crooked jaw, whosoever of you raises me that same white whale shall have this gold ounce. Skin your eyes for him, boys. Look sharp for white water. If he but see a bubble, sing out, Captain Ahab. Be that the whale some call Moby Dick? Moby Dick. Do you know the white whale, then? Does he fantail a little curious, sir, afore he goes down? And the curious spout, too, Captain? Have he 1, 2, 3 good many iron in he high, too, Captain? Aye. Aye, the harpoons lie all twisted and wrenched in him. Aye, his spout's a big one, like a whole shock of wheat, and as white as Nantucket wool. And he fantails like a split jib in a squall. Death and devil's men, it is Moby Dick you've seen. Moby Dick.
Captain Ahab.
Yes, Mr. Starbuck.
I, too, have heard of Moby Dick. But was it he took off your leg?
Who told you that? Aye, Starbuck. It was Moby Dick just masted me. Moby Dick that brought me this dead stump I stand on now. Aye, it was that cursed white whale made a poor pagan lubber of me to the end of time. Aye. And I'll chase him round Good Hope, round the Horn, and round the Norway Maelstrom, and round perdition's flames before I give him up. And this is what you've shipped for, men, to chase him on both sides of land and over all sides of earth till he spouts black blood and rolls fin out. What say ye, men? I think ye to look brave. Aye, aye. God hunt us all if we hunt not Moby Dick to his death. Morning, Mr. Starbuck.
Good morning, sir.
Well, then, Mr. Starbuck, what's the long face about?
No matter, sir.
Speak, man, would you not chase the white whale? Are you not game for Moby Dick?
I'm game for his crooked jaw and game for the jaws of death, Captain Ahab, if all comes fairly. But I come here to hunt whales, not my commander's vengeance. How many barrels will your vengeance fetch in the Nantucket market, Captain Ahab?
Come closer, Starbuck. Money's not the measure, my lad. Let me tell you, my vengeance will fetch a premium here in this heart.
Nay, sir, but vengeance on a dumb brute that smote you from blindest instinct. It's blasphemous. Madness and blasphemy.
Mr. Starbuck, there's one God that's Lord over the earth and one captain that's Lord over the Pequod. You so much as dare think critically of me.
I spoke too rashly, sir.
My conscience is in the ship's keel, Mr. Starbuck. And though my motive and my object may be mad, I'll hunt the white whale. I'm bound to hunt him, heart, soul, and body. Lungs and life, I'll wreak my hate upon him.
God keep me. Keep us all.
No more than that?
I must obey. You need have no fear of me. But let Ahab beware of Ahab. Beware of yourself, old man.
Go below, Mr. Starbuck.
Aye, sir.
Go below, down, dog, and kill.
I'm not used to be spoke to that way, sir. I less than half like it.
Then be called 10 times a donkey, and a mule, and an ass, and be gone, or I'll clear the world of you. Masters there! Look sharp, all of you! There are whales hereabouts. If you see a white one, split your lungs for him. Aye, aye, sir! What's that he said? Ahab, beware of Ahab. There's something there. Oh, the lightning flashes through my skull. And mine eyeballs ache and ache. My whole beaten brain seems beheaded and rolling on some stunning ground. My heart is sick. 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 I'll go below. It's like going down into a tomb for an old captain to descend this narrow scuttle down to his grave-dug bed. I seek my nightly grave to sleep between shrouds. And down I go, gripping at the iron banister to help my crippled way. Hark to the crack and din of my bony step. My dreams will be of the crunching teeth of sharks. Dreams. If I could sleep, old age is wakeful. The longer linked with life, the less man has to do with aught that looks like death. Yonder the diver's sun, slow dived from noon, goes down. My soul mounts up. She wearies with her endless hill. Time was when as the sunrise spurred me, so the sunset soothed. No more. No more. This lovely light, it lights me not. All loveliness is anguish. Damned subtly and malignantly, damned in the midst of paradise. Good night. Yet 'tis not too hard a task. Good night. 'Tis not too hard. What I've dared, I've willed, and what I've willed, I'll do. They think me mad. I am madness maddened. The prophecy has been that I should be dismembered. I lost this leg. I do now prophesy that I'll dismember my dismemberer. Now be the prophet and fulfiller one. Ye great bully gods, he've knocked me down, but I'm up again. Ahab's compliments to you. Come and see if you can swerve me. Swerve me! The path to my fixed purpose is laid with iron rails, whereon my soul is grooved to run, o'er unsounded gorges, through the hearts of mountains, under torrents' beds, I rush, so will I fight ye, grim phantom futures! Stir no! Stir no! The white whale spouts thick blood.
I, Ishmael, was one of those aboard the Pequod. Oh, God, to sail with such a heathen crew. Your true whale hunter is as much a savage as any cannibal. But the harpooners aboard the Pequod were savages indeed. Tashtego, the blood-skinned Iroquois, Queequeg, a tattooed island aboriginal, and Great Daggoo, a giant coal-black African. The blacksmith's forge was on the deck, and there the savages would crouch to worship fire. There, too, one day came Captain Ahab to watch the sparks fly and hear the hammer ring.
Blacksmith! I suppose you can smooth most any seams and dents, no matter how hard the metal?
Aye, sir, I think I can.
Can you smooth out a seam like this one upon my brow? Glad would I lay my head upon my anvil and feel thy heaviest hammer beat between my eyes. So ye see it in my flesh, and it's worked down into the bones of my skull. That is all. Look here. I want a harpoon made. One that 1,000 yoke of fiends could never part. Something that'll stick in a whale like his own fin bone. There's the stuff. Lucky blacksmith, there are the gathered nail stubs of the steel shoes of racing horses.
Horseshoe stuff, sir? Aye, there's the best and stubbornest stuff we blacksmiths ever worked.
So it is indeed. These stubs will weld together like glue from the melted bones of murderers. Quick, forge me the harpoon. Hammerman! Hammer and temper the steel till it smells of fire like a musket's powder pan. Hand it here. This harpoon is for the white whale. The white whale, my boy, is for the white fiend's hump. You hear? Now for the knife with barbs to cut and twist it in. Here are my razors, the best of steel. Here, blacksmiths. Make the barbs, and make them sharp as the needle sleet of the icy sea. Take 'em, man, I have no need for 'em, for now I neither shave, sup, nor pray, so here to work. Hammer, blacksmiths, pound away. Now they take shape. No water. No water for these dagger points. Don't temper them with water. I want the true death temper. Ahoy there, Tashtego, Queequeg, Dongle, what say you, pagan? You give me as much blood as will cover this bar. Here's my brave lads. Here now I'll make 3 punctures in this heathen flesh and temper my harpoon with human blood. Ego non battivit in nomine Patris et in nomine Diaboli, in the name of the devil, I baptize thee. In the devil's name. Ship ahoy! Aboard the Albatross! Have you seen the white whale? The white whale! Did you say? Aye, the white whale! Sperm whale! Moby Dick! Beware of him! The harpoon's not yet forged! That'll kill Moby Dick! Not forged! Looking, Antipater! Here in this hand, I hold his death! God have mercy on thee! The black vomit wrench thee! Race forward there, up him, and keep her to the course! He's in these seas. Somewhere in these seas. Old Moby Dick. morning, Mr. Starbuck.
Morning, sir.
It's a mild wind and a mild-looking sky.
Indeed it is, sir.
And such a day. Very much such a sweetness as this, Mr. Starbuck. I struck my first whale, a boy harpooner of 18, 40 years ago. 40 years on the pitiless sea. And of these 40 years, I've not spent 3 ashore. 40 years. 40 years I've fed on dry salt fare when the poorest landsman had fresh fruit to his daily hand. Away, whole oceans away from the girl wife that I wedded. I widowed that poor girl when I married her, Starbuck. Oh, what a 40 years fool as they have been. Do I look old? So very old, Mr. Starbuck. I feel deadly faint. Bowed and humped. As though I were Adam staggering beneath the piled-up centuries in paradise. Stand close to me, Starbuck, and let me look into a human eye. Human eye. This is the magic glass, man. I see a green land. I see my wife and child. I see them in thine eyes.
Captain, let's leave these deadly waters. Let's sail home. Think how joyously we'd bowl our way to old man's
harbor. Aye, home is pitiful, and in the harbor there's safety, comfort, hearthstone, warm blankets, friends, and all that's kind to our mortalities. It's a mild wind to carry us home. And the air smells now as if it blew from a faraway meadow. They've been making hay on the slopes of the Andes, Starbuck. And the mowers are sleeping among the new mown hay.
Captain Ahab, sir, shall I give the orders? Shall I tell them to put about, to sail for home?
Home,
Oh, she blows!
Where away! Where away?
Beam to
Leave. I see him. Hump. Like a snow hill. It's Moby Dick. Reach the fore and main topsails. Stand right along away. Oh, Moby Dick. I clutched thy heart at last. Pull at your oars, my good boys. Roar and pull, my thunderbolts. Beach me on his white back, boys. Do this for me, and I'll fill your caps with gold. There's white water again. Close. Give me my harpoon. Stand up and give it to me. There. That's his hump. Steady. Here she goes.
Never will you capture an old man. In heaven's name, no more of this. It's worse than devil's madness.
Where did you see him sing out for every spout? We spout 10 times a second.
Ah, she blows!
Where to?
Lake to lure!
Lay me on, boys! Pull my hearties! See that white water? I shall go staring mad! Pull, babes! Pull and keep pulling! Burst your livers in your lungs! We're coming up. Steady. Steady, boys, help me. Where's to stand the harpoon now? The eternal sap is running in old Ahab's arm. I'll try again. You got him! Here we go!
The rope is broken!
Harpoon, it's gone.
It's an omen, Captain. Shall we keep chasing this murderous fish till he swamps the last man? Shall we be dragged by him to the bottom of the sea?
Ahab! is forever Ahab, man. The deed's immutably decreed, and I'm the faithful lieutenant under orders. Where is he now?
Can't see the spout, sir. Too dark to see.
Huh? There he is.
There he is, sir.
He shoots like an arrow out of the sea. Stand by me, man. Oh, you see an old man cut down to the stump, leaning on a shattered lance. Is Ahab. Believe ye men in things called omens? You feel brave? Oh! Now then, crack your backbones and bite your knives in two.
As to the seas alive with sharks, they crowd our wake like
forehead to forehead. I meet you this time, Moby Dick. Here for the open jaw, my boys. I grin at you. I grin at you, you grinning whale. Ah, you sweet powers of air. Hug me close. A lance now. Steady. My eyes are blind. I cannot see. I cannot see. Yet. From hell's heart, I stab at thee, Moby Dick. For hate's sake, I spit my breath at thee. The jaw! The jaw!
The drama is done. The Pequod, all her crew and captain drowned. And only I, Ishmael, escaped to tell this tale. Oh, Ahab, my captain, noble soul, still do you move before me in all your majesty. Up from the spray of your ocean perishing into the unbodied air.
Here, far waterlogged, beyond all hum of human weal and woe, where for long Chinese ages the billows have rolled on, speechless and unspoken to, is now my most familiar home. Here in that awful waterland, amid the world's foundations, where unrecorded names and navies rust, ballasted with bones of millions of the drowned, I lay me down. Oh, I've seen enough to split the planets and make Abraham an infidel. Yet not one syllable is mine. Oh, hail, great Moby Dick, most mighty, broad baronial tyrant of the sea. Thou art my conqueror. Thy throne is here in these unpurged seas. Oh, lonely death, on lonely life, and this great shroud, the sea, rolls on as it has rolled 5,000
Orson Welles will return in just a moment. But first, let me again remind you to be patient with your dealer when occasionally these days he is unable to supply you with the happy blending of never less than 33 fine brews. Yes, every foaming frosty glass you enjoy will, as always, have that famous Pabst Blue Ribbon flavor. Not too heavy, not too light, but fresh, clean, sparkling with a real beer taste coming through the way you like it. So keep asking for blended, splendid Pabst Blue Ribbon. And now again, Mr. Wells.
Next week, ladies and gentlemen, please join us again. Our offering will be John Galsworthy's great love story, The Apple Tree.
This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Suddenly, I realized I was all alone backstage. And I got the same feeling you get just before a storm breaks. I turned and started toward Christina's dressing room. Then I heard the shot and the scream. And as I started running, I had a strong hunch I'd just lost a client.
The New Adventures of Michael Shayne, Private Detective. Michael Shayne, reckless, red-headed Irishman, is back again in his old haunts in New Orleans. This is your director, Bill Russo, inviting you to listen to another transcribed episode, which we call The Case of the Left-Handed Fan.
Do for you, son?
Where's Christina Bancroft's dressing room?
Now, son, that's something a lot of people would like to know.
Look, Pop, you don't see a bouquet in my hand, do you? She sent for me on business.
Oh, that make you Mike Shayne, maybe?
Quaint way of putting it, but it's a general idea.
Hey, second door down the hall on your left, Miss Shayne.
Thanks.
Hey, it's just we gotta be careful. A lot of people always try to see Miss Bancroft.
Yeah.
I forgot to tell you, Miss Bancroft hasn't come in yet.
Well, fine.
Just go on in, rest yourself. She ought to be here any minute.
Oh, okay. Quite a place. Nice. So that's Christina Bancroft. Some picture.
Oh, there you are, Mr. Shayne. I'm so sorry to have kept you waiting. Please forgive me. You know how these interviews are. They stretch on and on and on until you think you will simply go out of your mind. But I'm so glad you're here now. We've almost half an hour until curtain. This thing has me so petrified I haven't slept for a solid week. Just look at these circles under my eyes. Oh, they're ghastly, aren't they? Now, may we get all this straightened out? It's been such a strain, such a strain. And the worst part of it is the unknown element. If it were only something out in the open, it would be different. But it's the not knowing that's been tearing me to pieces. What's the matter?
Huh?
Mr. Shayne, why are you looking at me like that?
Why, well, you're not exactly ugly, you know, Miss Bancroft.
Oh, did you expect I would be?
No, it's just that well, skip it.
All right, Mr. Shayne, will you take the case? You must. I simply can't go on.
Now, wait a minute.
Understand?
Don't start that again. Look, can't we go through this thing slowly and calmly? You're not on stage now. You're just talking to poor little me, Mike Shayne, and you're leaving me way behind. How about a little less razzle-dazzle?
Okay.
Huh?
Just okay.
Yeah, that's what I thought you said.
I get wound up sometimes.
You certainly do, Miss Bancroft.
Mike, I'm scared. I really am.
Yeah, I'm just finding it a little tough to adjust to the new rate of speed. Well, I've adjusted now, so you're scared. What of?
I don't know.
You don't know? Now, look.
I want to hire you for 3 days. For protection, Mike.
Why 3 days?
The play ends its New Orleans run in 3 days. After that, I'm going away for a while. Alone. And I'm not going to tell anyone where. I'll be all right then. So I want you to protect me for the next 3 days.
Just a minute. How am I supposed to protect you if I don't know what I'm protecting you from? Now, what is it?
Someone. I don't know who. And I certainly don't know why. But whoever it is, he's trying very hard to kill me.
In a moment, we'll return to the new adventures of Mike Shayne and the case of the left-handed fan.
Well, one thing about my job, you meet such interesting people. Like Christina Bancroft, the actress. I guess dazzling's as good as any other word for Christina. The girl was very, very beautiful and very, very hard to figure. One moment she was quite the actress, talking a mile a minute with sparks flying and with gestures yet. The next moment she was a sweet, scared girl, quietly asking me to protect her from an unknown killer. Well, at the time, the job of protecting Christina was the pleasantest prospect I'd had for weeks, so I didn't hesitate. After our interview, I stuck around in the wings watching the play. Christina seemed to be knocking him dead. Finally, near the end of the show, a tall, thin guy with a streak of gray came over where I was standing.
Hello.
You can't mean it.
I'm Hamilton Dunn, the director.
Mine's Shayne. How are you?
Shayne. Enjoying the play?
Yeah, it's quite a girl out there.
Yes. Shayne. Heard the name somewhere. You're a friend of Christina's?
Not exactly.
Oh?
You say you directed the play, Mr. Tom?
Yes, that's right.
Maybe you can tell me then.
Tell you what?
What there is about her.
Christina?
Yeah. There's people out there in the audience. Look at them. Spellbound. I suppose you've known her quite a while.
Yes, quite a while. She's a great actress.
You know, I somehow get the idea that in addition to being a director, you're sort of a fan of hers.
Yes, Mr. Shayne. I guess you might say I am a fan of hers. Next question?
Sorry.
Anyway, I'm sure this stocky chap coming toward us can tell you a lot more about Christina.
Oh?
Yes, you see, I'm only her director. He's her business manager. He sees her a lot more often. Naturally.
Naturally.
Hello, Frank.
Ma'am?
This is Frank Harper, Mr. Shayne. Frank, Mr. Shayne.
Hello.
Shayne? Michael Shayne?
Yeah.
I've been trying to find out, very unsuccessfully, just what Mr. Shayne is doing here.
He's a private detective.
So be said.
Private detective?
Yeah.
Look, I wasn't trying to be coy. I didn't want to say anything about it until I was sure Christina had told you.
Well, she certainly didn't tell me anything.
She said something to you, Harper?
No, she said nothing, Shayne.
Oh? That's interesting.
Oh, curtain.
Absolutely the worst performance I've ever given in my life. Atrocious, simply atrocious. I'll never... Ham, how was I really?
Why, you played a little differently tonight. More introspection and something else. You seemed preoccupied. I didn't like it quite as well.
Oh. Frank, what did you think?
I thought it was good.
Look, I suppose the three of you have met. I'm sorry, Mike. This is Ham Dunn, the greatest director there is, isn't it?
Yeah, we've all met.
Christina, is something the matter?
Matter? What do you mean?
Mr. Shayne is a private detective.
Miss Bancroft, some people to see you.
Yes. Look, Ham, it's nothing really. I don't want you, Frank, to worry about it. I just want Mike to sort of do a little work for me. I'll tell you all about it later. I've got to go now.
Bancroft.
Yes, I'm coming.
Christina, I thought maybe we could all of us could have supper at our nose this evening.
Oh, I'm sorry, Ham. I wanted to talk to Mike about some things, but some other time real soon.
All right, Christina.
Frank, you don't mind, do you?
No, I've got some business to take care of anyway.
Business?
I'll see you tomorrow.
Christina went over to the stage door and left the three of us standing in the wings. The looks that Dunn and Harper were tossing in my direction, it didn't take my customarily brilliant powers of deduction to tell me that I was about as welcome as a bumblebee in a phone booth. So I went back to Christina's dressing room and waited for her there. Pretty soon she came charging in and the sparks were flying again.
Mike, you can see what this thing is doing to me. That atrocious performance of mine tonight, it was just that I was completely terrified. I thought anything
All right, let's get out of overdrive, huh?
But don't you see... Who is it?
Flowers, Miss Bancroft.
Oh, all right, Pa. Bring them in, please. Just set them down there. Is there card?
Yes, sir. Yeah, it is.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, looks like some florist made enough on that sale to retire
Quite
on.
up to your standard tonight, my dear, but superb as usual. Everett. Of course, he'd notice.
Oh, Everett?
What does he expect? Perfection every night? Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, Everett Leverett.
Everett Leverett? What is that, a word game or somebody's name?
Everett's my number one admirer. Follows the show everywhere, goes to each performance, sends flowers every night.
Each performance? Doesn't he have anything else to do?
Apparently not.
Well, I mean... Oh, skip it. Look, let's get back to this unknown guy who wants to kill you.
Oh, Mike, you don't know what it's like to walk back and forth on that stage and think that maybe someone beyond those footlights whose face is only a blur is just waiting for a chance.
Yeah. Now, look, do me a favor, will you, Miss Bancroft?
What?
Just sit back and relax for a minute. Let me talk.
Yes.
Now, you called me down here to ask me to protect you from someone you say is trying to kill you. You don't know who or why. Now, what I want to know is what gave you the idea. Have you any evidence that someone's out to...
Oh, yes, I have, Mike, several things.
All right, let's have them.
Well, there was a telephone call a couple of days ago. A man, he told me then what he was going to do.
Anyone around when you got the call?
Well, I don't remember. Then there was a note yesterday threatening me.
Where is it?
I threw it away.
Why?
Then, because I didn't take it seriously. Then this morning I came down. He was walking backstage. A sandbag dropped. Just missed me.
Anyone else around then?
Well, I don't think so.
That's enough.
There have been lots of times.
That's enough. You're lying to me.
Yes. Yes, I'm lying to you.
This isn't an unknown crank who's after you.
No, it isn't.
You know who's trying to kill you and why. Now, let's have it.
All right, Mike. They think I'm in love with Frank Harper, my business manager.
They? Who's they?
Hamdan and Everett.
Your director and the man who sends you flowers. Well, are you in love with Harper?
No. But they won't believe me. And they both told me that if they can't have me, nobody else will. I think they mean it, Mike. I think either one of them is perfectly capable and willing to kill me or anyone else who stands in their way.
In a moment, we'll return to the new adventures of Mike Shayne and the case of the left-handed fan.
Well, it all started when an actress named Christina Bancroft asked me to protect her for the 3 days she was going to be playing in New Orleans. Seems that her director, Hamilton Dunn, and a wealthy admirer of hers with the quaint name of Everett Leverett had both told her that if they couldn't have her, nobody else would either. Yeah, all in all, it looked like just the kind of setup where somebody was apt to wind up dead. And my job was to see that it wasn't Christina. The next day was Sunday, and bright and early in the morning, I was knocking on the door of Everett Leverett's hotel suite. He was a thin, elegant-looking gent, just about as well-groomed as a guy can be, and still not be running in the Derby.
You say you're a friend of Christina's, Mr. Shayne. That in itself is sufficient credential here, but what precisely is the intent of your visit?
I came to talk a little about Christina and about you.
Two highly compatible subjects of conversation.
Yeah. You know, I don't get you at all. Why...
The usual question, why do I follow Christina around from city to city?
Oh, that's it.
Because I have found in Christina the one thing that all men seek, Mr. Shayne.
What's that?
What indeed? The perfect foil for oneself.
Yeah. I don't get what's in it for you, though, all this traipsing around.
Let us say that my life is not without its occasional satisfactions, Mr. Shayne.
Oh?
All men love Christina. My distinction is that of them all, I alone understand her. Really understand her. She knows this.
What do you mean, understand her?
Well, for contrast, let's consider someone who obviously does not understand her. That third director of hers, Hamilton Dunn.
You don't think he rates an Oscar, huh?
The man has a genius for misinterpretation. He consistently fails to apprehend Christina's character in all his direction. She's complex. He makes her simple. She's dangerous. He makes her harmless. She's basic. He makes her superficial.
Sounds like you made quite a study of it, Mr. Everett.
Leverett.
Leverett. Did it ever occur to you that Christina might someday get married or something like that?
No. I've made Christina my career, Mr. Shayne. It's inconceivable to me that any career I should undertake might ever end in failure.
Well, about then I decided a whiff of fresh air was in order, so I left. I was beginning to see what Christina meant when she said Everett Leverett would stop at nothing. But thinking of Christina reminded me she was still locked up in her hotel room, so I went over. It was noon by then. The two of us went to Galatoire's for lunch. As we ate, I kept thinking of all the things Leverett had said about her. After we'd finished, I began to see some of what he meant.
You know, you're a very interesting sort of person, Mike. I'll never forget how you kept telling me to talk slower and get out of
overdrive, you called it.
Yeah, you can be sort of hard to keep up with, Miss Bancroft.
You sort of cut me down the way Frank does.
He, sort of cut you down, huh? You like that?
It's amusing.
You know, speaking of interesting people, you're not exactly the dull type. As far as I've been able to find out, almost everyone who ever comes within 50 feet of you seems to be in love with you.
Yes. It has to be that way.
Does?
Mm-hmm.
Well, look, this may come as a surprise, but I guess I'm one of the few guys who doesn't happen to be in love with you, Miss Bancroft.
No, you're not now. But if you were around me long, sooner or later you would be mine. You would be.
And all of a sudden, there was something in her eyes that was clear and unblinking and sure, like a black panther closing in. I took her back to her hotel. It was Sunday, and there was no performance. Well, that night, I figured it might be a good chance to get around to Frank Harper. I was a little late. Just as I got to his hotel, I saw him come out the door, look up and down the street, then get into his car and drive away. He looked like a man with something special on his mind, so I followed him. He drove across town to St. Charles Avenue and along it a few blocks to an apartment house. I stopped a little way down the street. Harper got out of his car and went inside. At first, I didn't notice the long black convertible that had eased to a stop across the street. In a few minutes, Harper came out again. There was a blonde with him. A very smooth-looking article, I might add. They got in his car and drove off. I got out of mine and started across the street toward the black convertible, but it was already pulling away in the opposite direction. Hey, wait a minute! Hey! Too late. The convertible had jumped away from the curb like a startled kangaroo. I couldn't see who was in it. The next day, Christina stayed in her room all day. And that night, I took her to the theater for the last performance of the play. It was also my last night on the job, and I wasn't sorry. After the show, I was standing near the stage door when a long black convertible eased into the alley. Yeah, the same convertible I'd seen the night before. And who got out was my old friend Everett Leverett.
Where's Christina?
Over there, talking to Dunn.
Oh, yes, Dunn.
Everett?
Good evening, my dear. Are you ready?
Everett, I'm terribly sorry. I won't be able to make it this evening, I'm afraid.
I see.
Frank and I have some business affairs to discuss.
I see.
But maybe I could call you later,
That will be fine. Good evening, Mr. Shayne.
Christina and Frank Harper started for her dressing room. I wandered around the wings for a few minutes, doing nothing in particular. Then it hit me that things were awfully quiet all of a sudden. I looked around. Hamilton Dunn was nowhere in sight. Neither was anyone else. I was all alone backstage. I suddenly got the feeling you get just before a storm breaks. I turned and started toward Christina's dressing room. Then I heard the shot and the scream. As I started running, I had a strong hunch I just lost a client. I pounded down the hall into her dressing room, then I stopped. Christina was crouched over in one corner, whimpering. But Frank Harper lay face down on the floor, dead, with a bullet hole in his back. Christina, what happened? Come on, stop it. Tell me what happened.
Frank and I were talking. I saw the door to the next room open a little.
Yeah.
Man with a gun. And Frank saw it, too. He jumped in front of me. The gun fired. Whoever it was dropped the gun and closed the door.
Yeah, I see the gun. I'll leave it right there for the police. And there's a door leading outside from this room, huh?
Yes. Oh, my.
All right, stop it.
Can't you understand? Frank got the bullet that was intended for me.
In a moment, we'll be back with the thrilling climax to tonight's Michael Shayne adventure.
Well, right from the start, the setup had spelled murder. I had to admit I wasn't expecting Frank Harper would collect the bullet that was earmarked for Christina. I called police headquarters, and Inspector Lefever's boys were swarming all over the place 10 minutes later. By the time they'd left, Christina had recovered a little, but she still looked pretty dazed. Well, look, you don't feel like talking, but I've got a couple of questions.
Go ahead, Mike.
I got a hunch you held something back from the cops a few minutes ago, right?
Right.
Let's have it.
All right, I said I couldn't see the killer's face, that's true. But I did see his hand, holding the gun in the doorway. On the little finger of that hand, could see a ring.
A ring? What kind?
I couldn't tell. He's dead, Mike. Frank's dead.
Yeah, that's the point. It was almost you. So there was a ring on the little finger. Which hand?
It was the left hand.
Left hand. Thanks, Christina. It's a big help. Yeah, about then, it looked very much like this was going to be about the shortest investigation on record. When the police told me a little later what they'd found out so far about the gun, I was more convinced than ever. I went over to see Hamilton Dunn, the director. When I told the cop outside his door that Inspector Lefevre had okayed me, which was almost true, I got in.
What if it was my gun? It was stolen a few days ago, and I reported the theft.
Could have faked that.
Shayne, I didn't do it. Now, why would I try to kill Christina? I'm in love with her.
That's quite a ring you have there.
Ring?
Yeah, on your little finger.
Well, it's just a signet ring, nothing special. Why?
Skip it. You got a light?
Light? Oh, certainly. Lighter here somewhere. Oh, here it is.
Thank you. Very much. The signet ring was on the little finger of the same hand he'd used to work the lighter. His right hand. So Dunn was in the clear. And in my book, that left just one guy to see. Everett Leverett.
I must say I'm glad to see you, Mr. Shayne. It's been very dull sitting here in my suite. I can't go anywhere. That plainclothes chap out in the hall has some sort of ridiculous orders.
You know, that's an interesting ring you're wearing.
Oh? Yes, isn't it? A rather foolish but grateful woman gave me that almost a year ago.
Yeah. Now, look, I want you to write down everything you did this evening.
Oh, not again. I've already...
Here's a pencil.
Do you know, you're being awfully old school about this.
Right.
Oh, very well.
That's enough.
I've just started.
It's okay. You've already told me everything I wanted to know. Well, there it was. The ring he was wearing was on the little finger of the same hand he'd started to write with. His left hand. So Everett was the boy. I went downstairs into a phone booth and called Inspector Lefevre. Shayne, Inspector. Look, I got your boy pegged for you. What? Huh? Oh, wait. What's that about the gun? You're sure? I see. What? Oh, no. Skip it. Doesn't matter now. A light rain had started falling. I suddenly felt old, tired, a little sick. I went back to the theater. Christina was still sitting in her dressing room. When she turned toward me, her eyes were hollow and lifeless. She seemed to be looking past me. Hello, Christina.
Hello, Mike.
It's all over. Wound up.
It is?
Yeah.
You found out who killed Frank?
You killed him, Christina.
Yes, I killed him, Mike.
You said you saw a ring on the killer's left hand. But the police told me just a couple of minutes ago there were no fingerprints on the gun. So the killer couldn't have been holding it in his bare hand. You lied to me.
Yes, I was lying.
You couldn't have seen that ring.
I'm glad you found out.
You found out about Frank's blonde girlfriend. That was you in the black convertible. You borrowed it from Everett. You were checking up on Frank.
I knew.
Yeah, you knew all about the girlfriend. You couldn't stand a thought of that, of anyone not loving you. Particularly the man you loved, Christina. That's why you killed him.
I killed him. I loved him. I killed him. It's different than I thought it would be. The black cave. I'm all alone.
Christina.
I did it because I didn't think I could stand as loving someone else. But I could have. I could have because I loved him. I wish he was still alive.
Now you think of that. Now. Why couldn't you... There's a policeman waiting for you outside the door, Christina.
There he is. I mustn't keep him waiting, must I?
I guess not.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank me.
Goodbye, Mike.
So long, Christine. She opened the door and went out. I could hear the cop leading her away. I sat there for a long while, staring at the slanting rain which drummed against the window. I thought about Christina, about what she'd said to me once. If I'd been around her very long, I'd have fallen in love with her, she said. I was glad I hadn't been around her any more than I had, because she just might have had a point. Yes, she was very beautiful. Very strange.
This is your director, Bill Russo, again. Our story is based on characters created by Brett Halliday. The music is composed and conducted by John Duffy, and Michael Shayne is portrayed by Jeff Chandler. The New Adventures of Michael Shayne is a Don W. Sharp production, transcribed in Hollywood and distributed exclusively by the Broadcasters Guild. Next week, you'll hear Michael Shayne in another thrilling adventure from mysterious and colorful New Orleans.
Make no mistake, of all leading cigarettes, one and only one is recognized by eminent nose and throat specialists as definitely less irritating. That one cigarette is Philip Morris. Johnny presents the Milton Berle Show. Here comes Johnny, ladies and gentlemen, to remind you. If every smoker knew what Philip Morris smokers know, they'd all change to Philip Morris. Yes, they'd all. From Radio City, New York, here is the Milton Berle Show. With Bert Kelton, Jack Albertson, Johnny Gibson, Charlie Irving, Al Kelly, Mary Shipp, Billy Sands, our singing star Dick Varney, Ray Block and his orchestra, and yours truly, Frank Gallup. Ladies and gentlemen.
You're great.
With national economy in the news, tonight we salute Wall Street and high finance. The star of our show has been saving for years and faces the future with hope.
That's right.
He should. He's been saving all of Hope's jokes. And here he is, Milton Berle.
Take the sign down. Thank you. I'm starting off with a low. Thank you, Mr. Gallup, and good evening, Mr. Gallup. I shouldn't be so happy. I really shouldn't. I mean, I'm shocked at that introduction you gave me tonight. Literally and deeply shocked. I mean that sincerely. You saying that I, Milton Berle, I steal from Bob Hope? You don't understand. That's just high finance. I take a joke from Bob Hope. Eddie Cantor takes it from me. Jack Carson takes it from Cantor. I take it back from Carson. That's the way it operates. It's called corn exchange. Corn exchange? Oh, Berle, you're hot tonight. But not hot enough. I'd like to be hotter, but President Truman said only up to 68 degrees. Oh, dynamite. Mr. Gallup, did you hear that? I just got 4 laughs in a row.
Yes, they're all in the row your mother is in.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, that's jazzy. Mr. Gallup, for that, I really like to shake your hand, but I never touch fish on Tuesday. But here we are, Mr. Gallup, both bothering ourselves over pretty little insignificant piffle, and a lot of big things happened this week, you know. Governor Dewey threw his hat in the ring.
Yes, he's joined Stassen, Taft, Warren, and perhaps Eisenhower.
Yeah, the Republicans have so many hats in the ring, I understand they're taking out their national chairman and putting in a hat check girl. I could go on like this for seconds. But tonight, Mr. Gallup, we're discussing high finance. Mr. Gallup, you never had to worry about money, did you?
No, Burl. My father was a banker.
Your father?
Yes. Grand old gentleman. Had the same name as mine, Mr. Gallup.
That's a coincidence, isn't it? Your family always had money, eh?
Oh, yes. Father was continually bringing gunny sacks full of it home from the bank.
Yeah?
No one bothered to count it. We just looked in to see if the color was right.
What a father. Brought it home from the bank just like that.
Yes, dear old Dad. I still go up to see him on visiting days.
Visiting days. He was caught, eh?
Oh, there was the usual fuss, to-do, and cockamania.
Cockamania, yes.
And I must say, Dad acted like the perfect gentleman.
Did he?
Mm-hmm. Even offered to return the empty gunny sacks. That was 30 years ago.
You mean he's still in jail?
Burl, we don't mention it. We merely explain that Dad went to see the picture at the music hall.
But how do you explain he's been gone for 30 years?
Long line.
Mr. Gallup, you're wonderful. When you tell a joke, you keep the audience in suspense. They don't know whether you're going to live long enough to finish it. So while the show is dying, let us deliver the death blow as we salute Wall Street and high finance. Wall Street, financial center of the world. Wall Street, home of the stockbroker whose long arms reach out to millions of people who would like to reach back and get their hands on him. But memories really beat you, Block, didn't I? Memories. I'm only kidding about stockbrokers. One of the most beautiful friendships I ever had was with a stockbroker. It was many, many years ago. I had a little money to invest, and I remember that day that I opened the door to his office.
Pearl!
Hello, Mr. Gray.
Well, I'm going to make you a millionaire.
Huh?
You know why?
Right.
Because I like you. I'm funny that way. I like someone, I like them. I like you.
Oh, gee, thanks, Mr. Gray. Now, about that stock I wanted.
Oh, yes, that new company. What was the name again?
General Motors.
I didn't get it for you. General Motors can't last. I put your money into something solid. Amalgamated button hooks.
Button hooks?
Only $12 a share. My own brother couldn't get it for a penny less than 13. And you know why?
Why?
I don't like him.
Oh.
I like you.
Yeah?
I don't like many people, but you I like.
Yeah.
You're a likable type. I like you.
Well, a few weeks later, I was back in Mr. Gray's office.
Well, congratulations.
Congratulations. The bottom's dropped out of button hooks. Everybody's selling.
Of course. They're selling them to you.
To me? Why?
Because I told them all how much I like you. Now they all like you. To bring more money?
Money?
We're buying more button hooks.
But button hooks?
You'll corner the button hook market.
But button?
You'll have a monopoly.
But button?
Millions of people who want to button their shoes will come running to you with their tongues hanging out.
But button?
Hats off to Berle, the button hook king.
But, me the king?
And you can thank me. You know why I did it?
Why?
Because I like you.
Gee, I don't know what to say.
Say you like me.
I like you.
I like you, too.
I like you, too?
Yeah, but I like you first.
No, I like you even before you said you like me.
How do you like that? I liked you even before I said I liked you, and that was even before you said you liked me.
Oh. Yes, Mr. Gray made me the button hook king. Then someone invented shoelaces, and like Michael, I was finished as a king. Except that I didn't have a princess to go back to. But Mr. Gray had faith. He never left Wall Street. The last time I saw him, he was still trading on the curb, and he said to me,
"Pardon me, friend. Could I interest you in a couple of bushels of grain?"
Ladies and gentlemen, to give you a better understanding of high finance, we have with us tonight one of Wall Street's most noted financial advisors. In simple terms, he will explain the stock market. He is none other than Mr. Felix Finster. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Finster.
Thank you.
Mr. Finster, I understand that you've always been successful playing the stock market. Can you tell us about it very briefly?
Briefly?
Yes.
I'll do it quicker than you can say Jack Travis Fagan Forbes Speed because that's a Salvatore.
All right. Go ahead, Mr. Finster. Tell us, how did you do it?
Well, first I took all my savings and bought some shares of 50 Club Distillment. Now, I figured if I can invest that without taking the short end of the loan because that is my struggle for Pilgers, I had to give it back to Shayne. With that, I combined several barrels of blues, which I tried with dogs, and then I doubled my entire script. I'm still on relief.
Comrade, Mr. Finster, tell us, have you had any experience with phony stocks and bonds?
What a coincidence.
Why?
You know, just last week, a man came into my office and said, Mr. Finster, would you be interested in 300 Prison Green of the Stub W and Haven Strip? Would I be interested in 300 Prison Green of the Stub W and the Haven Strip? Who wouldn't? And I said to him, if you dare to dry one clip of my investments for the thrill, I'll thrill your entire basis. Don't think you're my own thought. And would you believe it?
Yeah.
To this day, that man sleeps in the living room.
Mr. Finster, what steps has the government taken to help investors who have been swindled?
Investors?
Yes.
If you feel like you've been given the well-known didn't knock, don't delay. Go at once to the Federal Bureau of Titanfall Salmon Farm. It's on the second floor of the Schmalman building. And you ask for a Miss Heffenbibble in the Zootlifer department. You will find her very friendly. In fact, there are stories that she goes straight without stick to hand upon her. But later she apologized to the whole office. Now, once Miss Hoogenclubs has checked your strutterwatch, she will give you a pass to see Mr. Machayelia.
Oh, Machayelia.
Yeah. Now, this is the man who has something very important to tell you.
What is it?
That you're in the wrong building.
Thank you, Mr. Finster. Thank you.
From New York to California, from Louisiana to Oregon, from city after city all over the country, eminent nose and throat specialists make this report. Listen.
We are convinced Philip Morris is definitely less irritating than any other leading cigarette. That's why in cases of irritation due to smoking, we suggest change to Philip Morris.
Yes, that's professional advice and good advice to every man or woman who smokes. Change to Philip Morris. Because the cigarette that gives you the least irritation is the cigarette that gives you the most enjoyment. And after all, it's pleasure, deep, rich pleasure that counts in smoking. And the full measure of smoking pleasure is yours to enjoy day in, day out in Philip Morris. That's why we say, if every smoker knew what Philip Morris smokers know, they'd all change to Philip Morris, America's finest cigarette.
The producer said cut. Okay.
Thank you. I like the way his hand went down like that. Thank you. So my salary. That was the best things in life for free. Played by Ray Block and the Philip Morris Orchestra. And Ray, what you played of it was swell. Really was. I just heard, Ray, that Petrillo may take all live musicians off the air. Well, as long as it's live musicians, this program has nothing to worry about. Now, as we continue our salute to high finance, we present...
Financial Forum tonight. The question, should President Truman get his $40 billion from the general public, or should he get it back from General Myers?
Thank you. Now let us commence with questions from our audience. All right, let's start with this gentleman in the aisle with the black eye taking back the mink coat from his girl. Yes, sir?
Mr. Berle, I came here to thank you for all you've done for my business. Ever since you came on the air, my business has been terrific.
Really? What do you sell, radios?
No, stomach pumps.
Thank you. Gary Moore. Let us go on. All right, this young man with the red beard on his chin and the FBI man on his heels. Young man, what is your name?
My name is Miss Hush.
Miss Hush?
When I was born, my parents couldn't guess what I was.
Oh, I understand.
For a long time, they thought I was a baby.
Really?
Yeah, when I took my first 2 steps, they found out who I was.
Who are you?
The walking man.
All right, Martha. You have a question that has to do with money and finance?
I got plenty of questions about money. What's it to you, Nosy?
Well, I thought...
If you knew how to make an easy buck, you wouldn't tell me anyway.
Yeah, but that's
you think
not...
a guy with all your loot would let somebody else in on your racket?
Now, look,
sure, you made your loot, so the rest of the workers dropped dead.
But
you're so rich you have to keep letting out your money belt.
No,
you're
wait
so
a
rich you can't tell where your property's off and your gold begins.
Please.
Your money's checkbook.
Let's try and control ourselves. Let's hear from the women in our audience. All right, this lady in the aisle cleaning chickens with Duz. What is your name, madam?
Hello, Feeney. I'm a homemaker.
See, and you have a question that has to do with money and finances?
Yeah, why's my husband so money mad? He holds on to $1 so tight, Washington's hair is in an upsweep.
Your husband likes to make money?
For a while, he was in the used car business.
Used cars?
You heard of Madman Month?
Yes.
He's Finagle and Feeney.
I see.
He advertised that he'd buy anything on wheels. One guy even drove in with a hearse.
A hearse? What could your husband do with a hearse?
Oh, he sold the motor, but he couldn't get rid of the body.
Mrs. Feeney, did your husband ever sell a car?
Last week he sold a guy an old wreck.
An old wreck?
Yeah, I was halfway off the lot before they realized it was me.
Well, what other business deals did your husband get into?
Once he manufactured a combination bubble gum and freckle remover.
Combination bubble gum and freckle remover?
Yeah, when you peel the bubble gum off your face, it lifts the freckle with it.
And it worked?
He tried it on himself. He had a freckle on his nose, and the gum took it right off.
His freckle?
His nose.
I see. And what was his last business?
He went out and played the stock market. Money was burning a hole in his pocket.
What happened?
The fire must have spread. He came home without pants.
Thank you, Mrs. Feeney. Thank you, Mrs. Feeney. And now, as a fitting conclusion to our forum tonight, let us hear from an expert on finance. He is that daring, fearless tower of financial strength, none other than the Wolf of Wall Street himself, Pierpont J. Featherfield. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Featherfield.
Thank you, Mr. Bell. This is indeed a most glorious and golden opportunity. I'm here to thank the many loyal and trusting investors who came to me with dreams of wealth and finally got it in the end.
Tell us, Mr. Featherfield.
Excuse me, Mr. Burl, do you mind if I sit down? I'm pooped.
Mr. Featherfield, you're tired?
On the way here, I picked an olive up off the sidewalk. I think I strained myself.
But, Mr. Featherfield, an olive isn't heavy.
This one had pimento in it.
Oh, that's different. You saw red. Mr. Featherfield, how did you start out on your brilliant career?
I started out as a plunger.
A plunger?
Yes. Then I quit the plumbing business.
Mr. Featherfield, I understand that you outsmarted Wall Street. You were the only one who wasn't affected by the crash of 29.
Yes.
How did you do it?
I went broke in 28.
Shrewd operator. Today, Mr. Featherfield, grain speculation is the big thing. Have you ever had anything to do with grain?
Yes, in my youthful days.
What grain?
Wild oats. Oh, I was a devil. It was one mad round of wine, women, and run, sheep, run.
You were happy then?
Ooh, ha! But it all came to a sad ending.
Sad ending.
Black Friday.
Oh, Black Friday. That was the day that the market crashed.
No, that was the day I got married.
I see.
Don't misunderstand me, Mr. Burrell. My wife is the best investment I ever made.
She was?
Yes. When I married her, she was at 102, and now she's up to 240 and still getting fatter.
Thank you very much, Mr. Featherfield. here's our young singing star, Dick Barney, to sing.
I still get jealous when they look at you. I may not show it, but I do. It's more than I can bear when they start to stare. Yes, they think you're too good to be true. I still get jealous when we kiss goodnight. Unless you hold me extra tight. And dear, I know a secret you didn't know I knew. I still get jealous 'cause it pleases you. And dear, I know a secret you didn't know I knew. I still get jealous 'cause it pleases you.
You know, speaking of finance, folks, Dick Barney is really making a fortune today since they... You are, too. Since they banned records. He's making personal appearances in jukeboxes. I'm just kidding, Dick. I'm giving you the needles. But while he's ad-libbing from the wings here, I will be on... You can be on with me next week. You can ad-lib with me. I don't know what you're saying either. Well, while we're discussing high finance tonight, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to tell you about the time that I was involved in one of the biggest financial deals of the century. It all started last winter. I had just come home from work, and my wife and I... Hello, dear.
Hello, Milton.
Oh, darling, I'm frozen. Gee, I wish you'd let me dress the way that I want to.
Now, Milton, everyone says I have perfect taste.
I know, darling, but making me wear a Palm Beach suit just because it matches the snow. Yeah, I've got goose pimples where even geese haven't got them. Ooh, you're lucky. In just a few days, you'll be off of Florida on your annual trip.
No, Milton, I don't want to spend money. I want to make money. That's why Martha Harrison and I are going into business.
Business?
Yes, Sam and Martha are coming over to explain it to you.
Now, darling, don't do that. Go to Florida. I'll give you $200. Take $300 with you. You can stay a whole day at the Lord Tarleton Hotel. Oh, no. No, that knock. That's that corny Sam Harrison and his wife, Martha. Come in.
Hi, Milty. On the way here, I said, wait till Milty hears about this business deal. He'll go for it like a dog for a mailman's leg. Isn't that what I said, Martha?
Yes. The voice is a turtle. Sam, what's this business?
Milty, when people come to our house, what's the first thing they look forward to?
Going home. Sam, what's this business?
Why, Martha's famous homemade taffy apples on a stick. The girls are going to sell them.
Sell them? You can't give them away.
Yes. Milty, Martha's taffy apples will cause a sensation. That's how Martha got me to marry her, feeding me those taffy apples. Didn't you, Martha?
Yes.
And she's never regretted it since, have you, Martha?
Yes.
That's silly. Our wives opening a store.
Milty, don't you worry. I'm going to manage the whole thing.
Sam, you?
Yes, ever since my chestnut stand failed, I've been itching to get back into business.
Oh, I see. And all I do is finance it, I suppose.
Just $500, Milty. Chicken feed to you.
Sam.
You can use the money I would have spent in Florida.
Go to Florida.
It can't miss.
Sam.
It will mean a new career for me.
Go to Florida.
Look at the publicity you'll get.
Sam.
I want to show people I have something.
Go to Florida.
Just sign these contracts and leases, Milty.
Sam.
Milton.
Go to Florida. All right. All right, I'll sign, but something tells me I'll regret this as long as I live.
Yes.
You go to Florida, too.
Good afternoon, sir. How many taffy apples? Oh, it's you, Milton.
Hello, dear. Look, it's been 6 weeks now, and you've only sold 6 of those taffy apples. All to me. I have to carry around a crowbar to get my mouth open.
Hiya, Milton. How do you like that big building that's going up next door?
Nice building.
Glad you like it. It's yours.
Yeah. Mine? So that's what the bank called me about this morning. $10,000 and I'm responsible. I signed all those papers.
We had to build it, Milty, to make room for your Big Bertha taffy-making machine.
My Big Bertha...
Only $60,000.
Yeah.
It makes 500,000 taffy apples a day. Come in here and see it.
Sam,
look at it.
Sam, what are they making there, an atomic bomb?
After all, Milty, we can't have Martha working her fingers to the bone making taffy apples by hand.
Sam, tear up those contracts. This'll wipe me out.
Wait till you see the machine work, Milty. I think Martha's inside the machine now, oiling it. Are you in there, Martha?
Yes. Sam, listen to me. Return the machine.
Oh, I can't wait to start the machine. It's this lever here. I just push it.
Sam, don't push it. What are you doing? Sam, the machine's stopping. Stop it, Sam. Turn off the machine.
Okay.
Turn it off.
Yeah. Some machine, huh, Milty? Martha? Martha! Imagine 500,000 taffy apples a day.
Sam, where's Martha?
If we make 0.5 cent an apple, we're in.
Sam, where's Martha?
The molasses goes in that chute there.
Sam, where's Martha?
The finished product comes out here.
Sam, where's Martha?
I'll push this lever and out come the taffy apples. Now watch.
Sam, where's Martha?
Look at these beautiful taffy apples. Wow, look at that big one with the taffy all over it. Oh, is that you, Martha?
Sam, I'm broke. Get some of my money back. Sell the building. Sell the machine.
We can't, Milty. I had to put up the building and machine as security for your apple orchards in Oregon.
I have apple orchards? How nice.
Why, sure. We save 1/10 of a cent on every apple that way.
Oh, well, then it's worth it.
And listen to this, Milty. What? Oh, Martha.
Yes?
Have those deeds come in on Milton's forests in Minnesota?
Yes. I have forests in Minnesota?
We're making our own sticks.
Sticks. Sam. Lovely, Sam. Adorable, Sam. Let's pull out of this.
Milty, a man in your position can't afford a bankruptcy.
Sam.
You're a public figure.
Sam.
You're a solid citizen. Gracious, kind, honest, trustworthy.
Sam.
You're a symbol of success. Handsome, devil-may-care, suave. Sam. You're a true-fisted leader, a fighter for the rights of man. Sam. And yet, with it all, you're generous, sweet, lovable.
Oh, Sam, you're terrible.
Well, good. Then it's okay to go ahead about Cuba.
Cuba? Well, what about Cuba?
We're contracting to buy their entire sugar output for the year.
Go to Florida. Sam, your secretary told me that you'd see me.
Wait, Milty, I'm on the phone. Oh. Hello, Oregon.
All right.
Mr. Berle's own fleet of trucks will pick up those apples.
My own fleet? Sam, will you do me?
Hello? Hello, Cuba.
Cuba?
From now on, send the sugar in our own ships. The new berle line.
Berle? Sam, will you do
What is it, Milty? Something important.
Oh, no. I just happened to tell you they took away my furniture this morning.
Sorry to hear it, Milty, but I'm busy.
Sam, I don't know how to ask it.
What?
Well, Sam, look, they left me with just 4 cents. That's all I have in the world, 4 cents.
What do you want me to do, Milty?
Sam?
Yes?
Could I get one of our 5-cent taffy apples for 4 cents? Thank you. I'll be back in just a taffy. A jiffy. In the meantime...
Remember this. You're twice as sure of twice the pleasure when you smoke Philip Morris. And here's why.
First, you enjoy the pleasure of smoking the world's finest premium tobaccos, mellow and mild and superbly blended. And second, you enjoy the extra pleasure of smoking the one, the only leading cigarette recognized by eminent nose and throat specialists as definitely less irritating.
Yes, you're twice as sure of twice the pleasure when you smoke Philip Morris. So next time you call for cigarettes, call for Philip Morris, made in America by Americans to please American tastes.
This is your girlfriend, Milton, saying good night. See you next Tuesday. Good night, everyone.
This is Johnny Ben returning now to the thousands of store windows and counters all over America.
for me. I'll be waiting for you. Come in and call for Philip Morris.
Yes, if every smoker knew what Philip Morris smokers know, they'd all change to Philip Morris, America's finest cigarette. And now, goodbye, Johnny. See you next Tuesday, same time, same station. Listen in Sunday night when Johnny presents Philip Morris Night with Horace Height over the same network. Until then... Hello, testing, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's it, 5. Pipe smokers, try Revelation pipe tobacco, a smooth blend of 5 tobaccos. Yes, relax, take 5, take Revelation of fine pipe tobacco. The Milton Berle Show is written by Matt Hyken and Alan Rubin. This is Frank Gallup says good night for Philip Morris.
This is NBC, the National Broadcasting Company.
Transcribed.
Flying's the way to travel, and the way to fly is TWA, Trans World Airlines. Presenting Cary Grant and Betsy Drake as Mr. and Mrs. Blandings in a new series based on Eric Hodgins' best-selling novels, Mr. Blandings Builds His Dream House and Blandings Way.
Did you know that TWA offers the only one airline service from coast to coast in the United States and all the way to Europe, Africa, and Asia?
You love to fly high up in the sky. You ride the airways, starry stairways.
Smoother and swifter, flying's the way.
And the best way to fly, TWA.
Mr. and Mrs. Blandings, starring Cary Grant and Betsy Drake, with Gail Gordon as Bill Cole. A hard day's work in the life of Jim Blandings has a new, rich reward. His new home in Connecticut. A peaceful evening in front of the fire with his wife, Muriel. Today, more than ever, Muriel has looked forward to the sound of Jim's key in the lock because she has a surprise for him. A new television set. A television set that, deep in her heart, she knows Jim does not want. Well, listen. There's his key now.
You should have a key somewhere. There it is. Oh, pushed it in too far again. Oh, there it is. Muriel! Muriel! Where is everybody? Isn't anybody home? Oh, hello, Rover. Oh, Rover, get your paws off my shoulders. Muriel! Down, Rover, down. No. Rover, lean away from the door.
What?
You've got the whole wall to lean on. Now, if you don't mind, I'd like to open the closet door. Rover, I can hang up my coat.
Be right down, dear.
No, don't bother, Muriel. I'm coming up.
I'll come down.
No, Muriel. Now, Rover, be a nice sheepdog. Get off the steps. Get off.
Are you all right? Did you fall down, Jim?
No, Rover fell down.
Rover fell down, that's all.
Rover thinks so, too.
I'm sorry I couldn't come down right away. I wasn't dressed. Are you going up?
I was going up to see you.
Well, here I am.
Ah, yeah. Yes, you are. What do you smell like?
Are you guessing, or do you want me to tell you?
I couldn't possibly guess, but I like it.
I'm glad. It's a perfume that you gave to me. I saved it to wear for a special occasion.
Oh, good Lord, Muriel. It's not our anniversary so soon. Seems to me it was only last month.
It was only last month. Now, come on. I've got a surprise to show you.
Huh? Where is it?
In the living room. Close your eyes.
How can I see to get there?
Hold my hand.
Well, I like that part. May I open my eyes now?
No. First, I've got to make a little speech.
May I sit down then?
Well, perhaps you'd better. No, don't look yet.
Oh, where's Rover?
It's funny you should ask that. Were you peeking just then?
No, Muriel, I just didn't want to sit on Rover. Where is he?
He's guarding the surprise.
What is it, a herd of sheep?
You can stop laughing. It's your own joke. Now, stop it. You can stop laughing at it. This is what I've got to explain before you look.
All right,
and when you do, you'll love it. That's what I think.
Yeah. You know, Muriel, I've got a funny feeling when you talk like that, that's what you don't think. But go on, dear.
Well, if you remember correctly, about 3 weeks ago, we decided that the wall near the mirror, don't look, needed something. You said you thought a nice, say, Chippendale cabinet of some sort, and I agreed. So now you can open your eyes and look at the surprise because you'll love it. Jim, wake up.
Huh? What? Oh!
Look at the surprise.
Oh, you're a nice surprise, Muriel.
Now stop looking at me. Look at the surprise.
Oh! Muriel, a television set. How could you?
Isn't it charming? Chippendale.
Muriel, you know how I feel about television.
But you can't keep on being old-fashioned, and besides, look what it does for that wall.
Old-fashioned because I want peace and quiet when I come home? Old-fashioned because I want to preserve the art of conversation? Old-fashioned because I want my daughters to study? Now, look what it does to the wall.
I'm sorry, I failed you. Send it back.
You send it back. You deceive me, Muriel.
Wouldn't you like me to turn it on, just for fun?
If you do, I'll close my eyes again.
Let me show you what it can do.
I'd want to show it what I can do. Now, Muriel, I want that set out of here tomorrow. How much was it?
$550.
$550? You mean to say you paid $550 for that thing? Get it out of here tonight.
Impossible.
Muriel, we discussed buying a Chippendale cabinet, not a television set. Now, I'm going to call the store. They've got to take it back. Where's the bill?
I'll get it. But it is a Chippendale cabinet. We did not discuss what would be in the cabinet. Here's the bill.
Oh. $700? Muriel, this bill is for $700.
I know that, but I've saved you money. We have a Chippendale cabinet and a television set for the price of a Chippendale cabinet, $550.
This bill is for $700.
I know that, but the aerial costs $100.
What?
And Mr. Drop charged $50 to install it. It's very hard work jiggling around on the roof.
The next thing you'll tell me is that we not only have a Chippendale cabinet and a television set, but a bird roost as well.
Dinner's ready, Miss Blandings.
No, we'll be there in a moment, Maud. Take Rover with you.
Rover? Come on, Rover. Come out from under that beautiful new television set.
I said take Rover with you, Maud.
He's coming with me, Mr. Blandings.
He is not.
He is.
Well, of course, the trouble with that silly dog is I can't tell which end is which. I thought he was coming toward me.
Why don't you go upstairs and wash your face in cold water? You'll feel better.
I feel quite all right, Muriel, but I will anyway. And by the time I come down, I trust that you will have arranged with Mr. Drop to get his set.
It's too late to call.
And, you know, I'd like to remind you, Muriel, that you could have gotten a new dress for what we have to pay for putting that aerial up on the roof and taking it down again.
I'm not selfish. I like to buy things for the whole family to enjoy.
That's right, Muriel. Because you're either very clever or you have the reasoning powers of a tangerine. But you're not selfish. Yes, Mr. Fleet. Well, that's right, yes. But, well, I think Mr. Guider Jr. ought to plan the television advertising for that account. No, Mr. Fleet. No, it's just that I've got my hands full with... Yeah. Oh, get that, please, Margaret.
Yes, sir. Just a moment.
What?
Mr. Blanding's busy right now.
Well, no, Mr. Fleet. I simply feel that Guider Jr. is better suited to television than I am. Yes, he is. He likes it, Mr. Fleet. Very well. I'll reconsider, Mr. Fleet, but I'm afraid that I still think Mr. Guider Jr. is the man for the job. Goodbye, Mr. Fleet. I'll be darned if I'll reconsider. Let Guider Jr. do the television. All I hear is television these days. Now, where were we, Margaret?
Mr. Cole is on the phone, Mr. Blandings.
Oh.
Sorry you had to wait, Mr. Cole. Here's Mr. Blandings now.
Thank you, Margaret. Hello, Bill.
Jim, I've got an important favor to ask of you.
No, you cannot visit us next weekend. We want to be alone.
I had no intention of inviting myself for the weekend.
Well, that's unusual. All right, I never lend money.
Look, I'm in a phone booth. May I ask my favor before my nickel runs out?
Ask it.
Would you appear this evening on What Why?
I didn't say anything.
Would you?
What are you talking about?
Well, I was supposed to appear on their panel tonight, but I've got to avoid some people.
Or vice versa.
Oh, now, seriously, Jim, I can't be on the panel when I've told everybody I'd be out of town. I suggested you, and the panel jumped at it. They pay very well.
They do? What for?
I'm asking if you will appear on a television program.
5 cents for the next 5 minutes, please.
Yes. Just a minute.
Appear on what? Why?
That's right.
Thank you.
What did I say?
Why are you so dense? I'm trying to tell you that if you would appear as guest on the television show What Why tonight in my place, I'd greatly appreciate it. And so would the panel. Furthermore...
Appear on television?
That's what I've been saying all along.
You're mad. I hate television.
Furthermore, they pay very well, and it's distinguished. They only ask important people.
Important people, huh?
Yes. For some reason, they think you are important.
Distinguished, huh?
Yes, and they pay very well.
How much?
They'll discuss that later. Will you do it?
Might not be so bad.
What did you say?
I'll do it. Yes, I'll do it. What time? Where?
Yeah, put Margaret on. I'll give her all the instructions.
All right.
Well, now, calm down and put Margaret on. I've run out of nickels.
What?
Put Margaret on and hurry.
Hello?
Muriel?
Jim?
Listen carefully, dear. I've got wonderful news.
I'm listening.
I'm going to appear tonight on What Why.
What?
What Why? They have very distinguished guests.
What?
Muriel, pay attention.
I am.
But they only invite important people. Of course, they seem to feel that I'm pretty important.
You are. Who's they?
The panel of What Why.
Oh.
You don't sound enthusiastic.
Well, if you tell me what why is and why a panel asked you, perhaps I'd tell...
Muriel, I've told you once. I'm not going to tell you again.
All right.
Well, I'm calling because I want you to tune in tonight and watch me.
On what?
What why? Why are you so dense? I'm going to be on at 8 o'clock, station WNBT. The program is very distinguished. Now, don't forget to watch.
Watch on what?
Well, on our television set, of course.
What makes you think we have a television set?
Well, because we've got one. That's why I think we've got one.
We don't anymore. You told me to return it to the store, but we've still got the aerial.
What do you mean the set's gone? Already? So soon?
Already so soon.
Muriel, get it back.
I thought you hated it.
Not when I'm on it. Call Mr. Drop right away and get our set back.
Jim, you do nothing but confuse me. But okay.
And watch What Why. Tell the children to watch.
Too bad you can't watch.
That's right. Goodbye.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Don't be nervous.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bill, what'll I do? Mr. Drop sold our set.
Well, hasn't he got another one?
No, Jim will be furious.
Well, can't you go to a neighbor's house and see him on their set?
I don't know any that have sets. That's why I phoned you.
Well, all right, Muriel. I know I'm nuts to do this, but I'll come out. I'll bring my portable set.
Oh, Bill, that's wonderful.
I wouldn't say anything to Jim if I were you.
Why not?
Well, he might not care for the idea that I'm spending the evening alone with his wife.
Oh, dear, that's true. Maud's out, and the girls will be at a brownie meeting. The Scouts are lending them a set to see the show. And they're spending the night with the Williams girls afterwards.
Well, perhaps you'd better join them.
At the meeting? Oh, the girls are ashamed of me. They say I'm too old.
I'll be out.
We won't be alone, Bill.
We won't?
No. Jim will be right there on television.
Say, Tom, have you contacted Weathership Charlie yet? Yes, it's coming in now.
Hello, AWA 963. This is Coast Guard Weathership Charlie, reading you loud and clear. Our radar indicates your position at 0826 Zebra is 352 degrees true, 42 nautical miles from Station Charlie. Your speed, made good, is 350 knots. Winds at your altitude...
Far, far below TWA's overseas-bound constellations, the weather ships of the United States Coast Guard stand watch on the North Atlantic. Stretched across the ocean like stepping stones, these ships gather vital information on the weather, plot positions, and send out radio signals that guide the planes to their destinations. This weather information not only helps airlines to plot the best routes to take overseas from day to day, but once the planes are aloft, the pilots are kept constantly up to date on the ever-changing weather pattern, a tremendous contribution to modern airline operations. And so today, TWA, Trans World Airlines, salutes the courageous, hard-working men of the Coast Guard and Weather Bureau who are supplying this vital, accurate weather information to the scheduled airlines of the world, and in so doing, contribute greatly to the safety, comfort, and speed you, the passenger, enjoy on every transatlantic flight. And now the second act of Mr. and Mrs. Blandings, starring Cary Grant and Betsy Drake. Jim Blandings, invited to appear on the television program What Why, is delighted at his sudden prominence. To be considered this important in his profession, advertising, makes him quite forget his loathing of the medium. He has insisted that Muriel get back the set, which had been such an unwelcome surprise. Muriel was too late. The set had been sold. At Muriel's request, Bill Cole has just arrived out from New York with his portable television set and is trying to tune in the program What Why.
Can't you make the aerial any longer? I don't see a thing.
The aerial is as long as it will ever be.
Oh.
I'll point it in another direction.
Try spinning it.
You won't like what happens.
I don't like what's happening now. What time is it?
8:01.
What? Jim will be on at 8. Do something.
Well, what do you suggest?
I don't know. It's your set. Fix it.
Well, it works beautifully in New York.
It has no right to be so persnickety. I love the country.
Well. Here we go. Yeah.
Bill, look. Tell me what you see.
Could be either a blowtorch
But
or
it's not Jim. Do something.
Muriel, will you keep calm? I'll move the set over to the other end of the room.
Keep calm. Jim is on the air right now, and I can't see him.
Driver, what time is it, for heaven's sakes?
I don't know, kid.
Haven't you got a watch?
What'd you say?
I said, haven't you got a watch?
Sure I have, kid.
Well, what time is it?
1 minute to late. So what, you late, kid?
Oh, I'm supposed to be there now. Where are we?
Well, where you asked me to take it, that's all I know, kid. That'll be $1.70.
All right. Have you got change for $5?
No, try the drugstore, kid.
Keep the change, kid.
Going up.
Wait for me. 15, please.
This is the local car. Only goes as far as 14. Take the other car, please.
What other car? Where?
Around the corner. All expresses around the corner.
Oh, all right. Wait. Wait. Whoops.
$15 out, please. Whatever are you doing on the floor, sir?
Looking for my stomach. Oh, dear, I'm nervous enough.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me where Studio C is, please?
What show?
What Why?
What Why?
Yes, What Why? I'm almost 10 minutes late. Where is Studio C?
Oh, I'm sorry, sir. You're on the wrong building. What Why is on a different network. You want NBC.
Oh, no!
Bill, it's 8:15. We've missed half the program. Do something.
Muriel, keep calm. I'll try sticking the aerial out the window. Are you sure there are no new mountains around here?
Jim will be furious.
Now, you watch. I'll work on the aerial. Tell me if you see anything.
Nothing yet.
Now?
No.
Now?
No. Wait a minute, Bill. It's working.
Good.
Get the right station now.
All right. Hold on. Ah, that's it.
It can't be.
Muriel, it is. See that huge can of apple juice behind them? That's the sponsor.
Well, where's Jim? I don't see Jim.
Driver, why have you stopped? The light's green.
I hope you don't expect me to drive right through the pedestrians, sir.
They have no right to be crossing against the light. Jaywalkers?
People are silly, sir.
Oh, this is the end. What time is it?
8:20, sir.
Oh, never mind. What's the use? Driver, take me to Grand Central Station. I'm going home.
Well, it's almost 10 o'clock. Jim ought to be home any minute.
Yes.
Oh, cheer up, Muriel.
Yes.
Perhaps I should go on back to New York.
Please don't. I can't face Jim alone.
Well, that's a terrible thing to say.
I know it.
Muriel, Jim will be on other programs. You'll see him on television.
You don't understand.
What don't I understand?
Well, yesterday I got a television set to surprise Jim, which he didn't want, but he should have, because it was also a Chippendale cabinet, which he did want.
I see. I think.
And he got mad and told me to return it, which I did. Then he called up and told me to watch What Why. Then he got mad again because I'd returned the set. Now he's been on television and he'll be mad again because I didn't see him. So no matter what I do, I'm wrong.
Oh, Muriel, now really.
I'm wrong. Always wrong. Don't know what to do about it.
I've got an idea. We've got my television set here.
And what a set.
We can let Jim think we did see him.
How?
Or we can pretend we saw him. Then later you can tell him the truth. He'll think it's a good joke.
Oh, but suppose he asks us questions about the program. What do we say then?
Well,
Oh, that's Jim at the door now. I'm sure I'm going to say the wrong thing.
Now, wait a second, Muriel. I'm a lawyer. That's my business. I'm used to dealing with criminals. With people like him. I can draw him out.
Well, what will I say?
Nothing. Let me do the talking. I'll make him tell us all about the show. Then if he asks us any questions, he'll already have told us all the answers.
Muriel!
Jim!
Oh, hello, Bill. What are you doing here?
Oh, he saved the day.
Mm-hmm. What was the matter with it?
He brought out his portable television set so that we could see you on What Why.
Where's the set we had?
Muriel couldn't get it back in time.
Uh-huh.
So I brought out my portable. Great little set. We loved the show, Jim.
You did?
Tell us, dear, were you nervous?
Do you mind if we go into the living room? Standing around in the hall makes me feel as though I ought to say good night and leave.
A nice group of people on the What Why panel, don't you think?
Sit here, Jim. You must be very tired.
Yes, and tell us about the show, Jim. We're very interested in your reactions to television as a medium.
Frightfully interesting, I'd say.
It must have been.
Yeah. I particularly liked my answer to that question on North American glaciers, didn't you, Muriel?
Oh, very interesting. Oh, frankly, I was so delighted just watching you.
Don't you remember, Muriel? Bill?
Why, yes. You said that you thought the the audience loved it.
That's right.
Oh, very clever.
Do you really believe that, Jim?
Believe what?
What you said about the glaciers.
What did I say about the glaciers?
Don't you know, Jim? Oh, well, so many questions.
Muriel.
How did you
Yes,
like
sir.
the reaction to
Yes.
Did you two notice it when I sneezed, by the way?
I should say we did. You can't hide a sneeze from me.
Oh, dear me, I'm sorry to hear that. I thought that by bending down to pick up a pencil, nobody would notice. But if you did,
Oh,
Muriel,
you couldn't fool me.
You know something, Muriel? You couldn't fool me either.
I don't try to fool you when I sneeze, dear. I sneeze away.
And what did you think, Bill, when I had that small disagreement with a member of the panel on the subject of lawyers?
Oh, I was on your side.
You were?
Yes, we were.
Even when I told the audience and the panel that my wife and lawyer were both big fakes?
You didn't.
All right, Jim, you win. How did you know?
I'm psychic.
Jim, I promise you we did our best.
How did you know, Jim?
Imagine the two of you lying to me for shame.
But, Jim, I didn't want to make you angry.
But didn't you realize how much lying would hurt me?
Well, now, don't blame Muriel, Jim. It was my advice to her.
I should have known.
What did you say about the glaciers, Jim?
I didn't say a darn thing about them.
Oh, missed the question.
Missed the program. Never got there. Wrong building. Traffic. Idiotic taxi driver afraid of running over idiotic people. Came home.
Well, this is cozy. We've all been lying. I'm so glad.
And Muriel, I hate television more than ever. Oh. Hello. Yes? What? Certainly. Certainly. By all means. Oh, well, just say a young advertising man. A successful young advertising man. Good, good. Talk about money later. Right you are. Goodbye. What do you know?
What?
Well, the television panel of 30 Answers heard that I was going to appear on What, Why tonight, so they asked me to be on their show next week.
Oh, how wonderful.
Oh, that's to be expected, I imagine. Prominent people are prominent people. Muriel, what about some dinner? I'm starved.
All right, Jim. I love you so much when you're happy.
Oh, and I love you, Muriel. I even like you, Bill.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, Muriel, call Mr. Drop and order another set.
We're getting back the one we had.
But I thought you couldn't.
Well, we couldn't then, but Mr. Drop called an hour ago and told me the woman who bought it is returning it tomorrow.
Oh,
She said her husband just hated television.
Cary Grant and Betsy Drake will be with us in just a moment. Where in the world do you want to go? TWA and only TWA serves 60 cities in the United States, from San Francisco to New York, and takes you overseas to key cities of Europe, Africa, the Middle East, and Asia. And this one airline service is mighty important, as any experienced world traveler will tell you. You buy only one ticket. You enjoy the same courteous service all the way, and you don't have to worry about complicated connections. So remember, TWA goes all the way across the U.S. and overseas, too. Next time you plan a trip, for business or pleasure, see your travel agent or call your nearest TWA office.
You love to fly high up in the sky. You ride the airways, starry stairways.
Smoother and swifter, flying's the way.
And the best way to fly, TWA.
Here again are Cary Grant and Betsy Drake.
What's the matter, dear? Tired?
Yeah, but it sure feels good just to be relaxing in a comfortable chair.
Then you don't regret it.
Regret what?
When we were choosing furniture, you wanted to buy the kind of reclining chair TWA has in its Constellation.
Well, you know, that's not so silly. Why, you can really relax in those seats. Mm-hmm. Relax and stretch your legs out. Mm-hmm. You just push a button and the back reclines just where you want it. You know, Muriel, I'll bet you couldn't be more comfortable anywhere than in a TWA Constellation chair.
I bet you I could.
Where?
Sitting right here in your lap.
Oh. Well, that's not a bad idea. Constellations have flaps. I wonder if they could build in some laps.
Good night, dear.
Good night, everyone.
Tune in next week, same time, same station, for Mr. and Mrs. Blandings, starring Cary Grant and Betsy Drake. Brought to you by Trans World Airlines. Across the U.S. and overseas, you can depend on TWA. Betsy Drake appeared through the courtesy of RKO Pictures and David O. Selznick. Watch for the next Selznick release, Gypsy Blood, starring Jennifer Jones and produced in Technicolor. Bill Cole was played by Gail Gordon. Others in our cast were Gail Bonney, Gene Bates, Marion Richmond, Ed Max, Jerry Hausner, and Earl Keane. Tonight's show was written by M. Winkle, directed by Warren Lewis, and transcribed in Hollywood. Don Stanley speaking. Now it's Tallulah's Big Show. 3 chimes mean good times on NBC.